What is up, everybody? Welcome to today's live stream. I am a little bit late, but I've got a good reason to be late. But today, we're going to be looking at all this new blocking. What is up, everybody? Welcome. New blocking is live. Hey, there's no more report button in the beta. Huh, I just noticed that. Okay. Let's go on over to the new area, to Zondalar, and we'll start doing some mythics. But I also really want to show you guys the whole new blocking thing, how it's looking. And as of right now, there's a few things that I need to do. What's up, Demon Hunter? Living that pug life. Yeah, we're going to be pugging a lot today. Going to be pugging a lot. Once more people tune in, I have some exciting news to share with you guys. I had a very spicy breakfast. Sorry, I need some water. What's up, everybody? Welcome. Everybody's starting to join in here. You got the flu yesterday? It does feel bad, man. I'm sorry about that. Let me actually... So while this loads up... What's up, BfA? While this loads up, let me show you guys something here. Face cam. Alright. 1 second. Let me go grab this. I need to make room. Let me show you guys this new and exciting thing. Actually, let me turn on my mic to be always on too, so I can just talk to you guys like that. Turn this down. Give me a second. I want to show you guys something before we do this. Alright, my mic is always on. Okay, let me show you guys this. The reason that I was late today is this guy right here. Look at that. Huh? So the reason I was late today was I was going to go pick up part of the new setup. So that is some exciting stuff. What's the big box? It's a new PC. So I didn't get to set it up right now. I was already late to even start the stream. Yeah, I was even late to start the stream, but that's the new PC. Just I went to go pick it up today. I had to go pick it up. There was no delivery for it. It was about an hour or so away, so I needed to drive over there, pick it up, come back in time to stream. And the store opened up at 10, so it was, you know, I was really crunching my numbers there. Do I watch WWE at all? I have not watched a WWE in a very long time. Last time I watched WWE, I was probably a teenager, so not in a very long time. But what wrestler do I look like? I don't know of a wrestler that I look like. Thank you, Demon Hunter. I know I mentioned it last stream that I was going to get all that. It doesn't look like I'm using a keyboard because of bindings. Oh, yeah, for sure. I am using a keyboard. I'm using a Red Dragon keyboard. This is my keyboard right here. I have push to talk on, so that's why I have to keep my hand on it. But I'm using this keyboard. Yeah, so I mentioned it last stream that I was going to be upgrading because I haven't withdrawn any money from Patreon. So everybody who supports me over on Patreon, everybody who sponsors me on YouTube here, all of the donations, I've been holding on to all of them and I haven't used them, and now I finally have enough to buy a new PC. So I bought this PC. The rest of the pieces for those upgrades come in on Friday, so I'm going to be doing a video on that. Sometime this week I'm going to be setting it all up. So next week I'm going to have a new setup. I'm going to be able to record at higher than 720p. I'm going to be able to stream at a higher quality, higher resolution. So I'm very excited for that. I look like Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin. Oh, man. It's because he's got the beanie, too. Let me see if I can show you guys this. This guy right here. I look like this guy. I need a full sleeve like him. Alright, so my key bindings, by the way, Vrain 90 on WSD while moving. So my keybinds, I press 1 through 5, right? So if you see down here, these buttons, 1 through 5 is what I press with my left hand. 6 is my mouse wheel pressed in. So if I go back to WoW, if you look here, I'm pressing in the mouse wheel. You see it's selected. That is that. And then my mouse has 2 buttons on the side here. Each one of those corresponds with one of these abilities. So one of them is Shield Slam right here, the 7th button. And then my charge is the other one. You'll see it's a charge and heroic leap combo. And then 8 and 9 here that you see, 8 and 9. 8 is mouse wheel down, 9 is mouse wheel up. So that covers my whole first row, right? Except for this guy right here. This guy is tilde, right next to 1. And so then I have all these guys which are modified with shift. So I can press 1 through 5. I can press 1 through 5. These are all mouse buttons. This is a mouse button. This is not. This guy, I have it bound right now to an F key, but it's not permanent. This guy is shift 1, shift mouse wheel up, shift mouse wheel down, shift and one of the side buttons, shift and middle mouse wheel, or a mouse wheel press in, shift and another one of the mouse buttons, shift 3, shift 4, shift 2, shift 5. I can press 1 through 5 just fine. And then I also have this guy right here. Let me cancel that. This guy is Intimidating Shout. It's on shift tilde. That covers just about all my key bindings. The only other ones that I really have set up is for the new PvP system. I set up F1 through F3, which I used to press anyway when warriors used to have stance dancing. So yeah, I'm used to pressing F1 through F3, not necessarily for abilities. It was more for stance dancing, but that's how I set up everything. Everything is between shift. Everything is between tilde to 5, shift tilde to shift 5, and then I have my mouse with mouse wheel up, down, and then you can press in the mouse wheel as well for another click, and then 2 buttons on the side, and then I also have shift modifiers for all those keys. So that's how I can get away with doing all of that. I still have Q and E bound, and as a tank you need to have S bound for backpedaling. There's no way to get around backpedaling as a tank, or else you're going to be giving your enemies your back a little bit. Playing something with like a Logitech G, no, I don't run anything that crazy. I have the same beard as yeah, I googled it. Make a wish list? Make a wish list for what, Matney? Isn't Warrior trash on beta as far as tank goes? Not as of this last build. Jonas, they just changed the blocking system. So let me show you guys this. Let me minimize this so I can go back. So they changed the blocking system, and I have been working really hard on a video that's going to be about that. So let me try to show you guys this. This is the new blocking formula. Now, my formula does deviate a little bit here in this last point, but up until about 13,000 armor, this is the new blocking formula, and armor and blocking no longer share diminishing returns, okay? So what that means is that blocking got a huge buff. So you see this shield right here. This shield is going to mitigate damage by 35% on a regular block. Currently live in Legion, a regular block is 30%, a critical block is 60%. That's how it's set, right? 30%, 60%, doesn't matter how good your shield is, how bad your shield is. That's the way the cookie crumbles. In BfA, they recently buffed blocking so that it scales with the quality of your shield. So right now I have item level 329. Full heroic would be 325, so I'm between heroic and mythic geared, right? So having that between area My regular physical damage reduction is 48%. This doesn't take anything else into account, any buffs, anything like that. 48%. But if I block first, I'm reducing that damage by 35%. My shield is 3500, so if I do a crit block, it doubles my block value, right? So if I have 7000 block, that puts me at 52, a little bit over 52%. So if I get a critical block, I'm going to reduce incoming damage by 52%. It's a little bit less than Legion, a critical block. And then my armor is going to reduce the hit by almost another 50%. So if I'm supposed to be getting hit by 1000, my block will reduce it to a little under 500. And then my regular armor will reduce that by another around half. So I'll be getting hit by about 250 instead of 1000. So warriors were trash in the first beginning builds, and there was like armor used to show diminishing returns with blocking. Things were on the global. We didn't have ignore pain, but they recently buffed block, and this was done on Friday. So what, 4 or 5 days ago? So now blocking is really good. So what this means is that blocking is also going to scale up with us as the raids come out. So if I take a look at my spreadsheet here, thanks for the sub, by the way, I appreciate it, Dean. With a normal raid shield, my regular blocking is going to do 40%. So while regular blocking right now in Live and Legion does 30, if I start getting raid gear, I'm going to be blocking 40% with a normal raid shield, and with a critical block 56%. If I go all the way up to a mythic raid, so if I clear mythic Uldir, I completely get every piece of gear from there. My regular blocks are going to do 45%, and my critical blocks are going to do 61%. So my critical blocks are going to be stronger than in Legion by about 1%, and my regular blocks are going to be 15% stronger than in Legion. And that is only the end of the first raid. We're going to have probably 3 or 4 raids, kind of like in Legion. Legion, we had 5 total with TOV. So we're probably going to have about 4 raids. That means that by the end of the expansion, our critical block is probably going to get to about 70%, 70% block value. Maybe even a little bit higher. I'm looking at the value. No, probably about 70%. And our regular block is probably going to get to about 55 to 60%. So the warrior dream is back to being alive because of this new system. And again, I don't want to bore you guys with like Excel sheets, but I'm looking at my numbers here, and that's what I'm running. So if you guys see here, warriors in terms of normal dungeon, normal raid, heroic raid, and then block value. So you take into consideration block before you take into consideration what you're taking regularly. So I don't want to bore you guys with an Excel sheet too much, but the point is, going into the first raid tier, blocking is going to be about the same as Legion. It's going to be a little more consistent. You're going to have, thanks for the sub, Ethan. You're going to have better regular blocking and slightly worse critical blocking going into that raid. Coming out of that raid, you're going to have about the same critical block, but way better regular block. So, and that is only going to get better and scale as the dungeon goes on. Blocking is no longer a flat rate. So the warrior dream is very much alive. Matney, can I start over? I hope that explained it really well, Matney. I try to start over. What's up, Hooves? They aren't that trash anymore? No, they're not trash at all. A little bit behind most OP tanks. I think, so my honest opinion is that as the expansion goes on, they are actually going to nerf the mitigation that armor gives you. Or maybe blocking. Because right now, blocking and armor use the exact same formula, but they have different instances and they don't share diminishing returns. So by the time the last raid comes out, which I can't see the raid, right? So Uldir is, I can see the loot scaled all the way up to Mythic. They also put this one in here, but it doesn't scale up. It starts at 355. So the next raid after Uldir is going to be Azeroth. I'm not quite sure what it's going to be or what it does. But we can start seeing stuff of Azeroth, right? The last boss is going to be called Dungeon Gorger Crawlock. I have no idea what the story behind this is going to be. We're going to be beating up Alliance, apparently. I actually hadn't taken a look at all this. But the next raid is going to be called Azeroth. Not sure what that has to do, but I can't see the gear. So at the end of the first raid, we're going to be in the same spot as Legion. Going into it slightly less strong than in Legion, but more consistent. Less spike damage. Our critical block is going to be nerfed a little bit, regular block a little bit bumped up. So a little bit more consistent with reducing that critical block but increasing regular block. I'm on beta. You have 333 item level and you're struggling on mythics. How can you do it? Jakar, you're 333 on a warrior? It's all about rotating your cooldowns as well, Jakar. So it's very important. I would say the most important things for you right now, Jakar, is to run anger management and to run booming voice and bolster. Those are the very, very important things. It's right now on a warrior, it's very important to have one of your cooldowns up at all times. You run into a new pack, you pop Dragon's Roar to try to pull aggro to you, you Thunderclap, you throw on your shield block, and you're good to go. As soon as that shield block runs out, you should be throwing up either another shield block or a demoralizing shout, depending on how you want to use your rage. If you want to use your rage for ignore pains, use it for that, but pop a demo shout after that. After that, you can start putting on your shield blocks again, but you always want to have something rolling right now. Warriors are just going to be very gear dependent because of the way that armor and blocking works. So the first grind up until the first raid is going to be an uphill struggle, man. It really is. And I know the struggle. I'm going through it right now. It's difficult, but you just got to grind through it. You always have to maintain something up. Let me see if I can find a group as well. +2 Freehold. Freehold is going to kick my butt. All right, let's see if we can get in this group. Been away from WoW for a long time, looking to main a tank in this expansion. What class would I recommend tank as a noob? Usually play a healer. Ryan, at what level do you normally play, Ryan? So are you normally, you've been away from WoW for a long time. I don't know if you ever played when there was Mythic raiding. So were you raiding LFR? Were you raiding normal or heroic? Or if you were raiding during Mythic, were you raiding Mythic? Like what? Give me a sense of where you are, because every tank has a different skill cap. And if you used to be a Mythic raider, even though you're new to tanking, you could get used to different types of tanking. And you could, you might be more used to this different playstyles. All right, hopefully we got a summon. I can do some Mythics for sure. I just hopped into a +2. I didn't have a pen. Oh, Matney, wait. Matney, what are you talking about? Wishlist, though. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Shrine is always overwhelming in EN Mythic? Oh, Shrine is almost overwhelming you in Mythic. Shrine, which one is Shrine? I thought it was Temple. No, Shrine of the Storm. Shrine of the Storm is a very overwhelming dungeon, specifically the bosses. Tidesage Council is insane. Tidesage Council. Tidesage is one of those fights where without DBM, you're going to get beat up. You really, if you don't have DBM going, right now we don't have DBM going, you really need to time your things. You really need to time everything perfectly. Azeroth is world bosses. Oh, okay. That would make sense why we're fighting Alliance here. But right now the loot, well, the loot is set to 355, so it makes sense that Azeroth is world bosses because they don't scale between LFR, normal, and Mythic. But yeah, this hasn't been addressed by like Blue Post or anything as far as what this is and where they are. I'm surprised that they're adding these many world bosses, to be completely honest with you. This is 7 world bosses, and world bosses are always kind of tricky. Same feels true for Blood DKs. Never Mythic, normal raids, and MOP. Ryan, since you used to do normal raids and MOP, I would suggest to you playing either a Paladin, a Guardian Druid, or a Vengeance Demon Hunter. Those are my 3 suggestions to you that you can go ahead and take on depending on the playstyle that you want. Oh, Matt, need the computer wish list? For sure, man. Yeah, that computer is a product of everybody, like the support I get on Patreon, the support I get from sponsors here on YouTube from you guys, the donations I get to you guys. Every single cent of that money has gone into this. And there are still a few pieces I would like to upgrade, and if you would like, Matney, I can absolutely have a wish list and put it in the description on like Friday, because the setup isn't done, but you know, slowly gonna start upgrading everything and keeping you guys posted. So yeah, that new setup is gonna get set up this weekend. I have that computer, I bought it very cheap, very good deal that I found, but it didn't really have a video card. Let me try to actually go over to the dungeon too. It didn't really have a good video card, so video card comes in Friday, monitor comes in Friday. After that, I am going to buy an ARM to get a second monitor to read you guys in chat. Right now, chat, you guys are an iPad for me, so once I get that, I can get a second monitor for chat. I'm also getting a Stream Deck because that computer is going to be able to run all that. Slowly getting the upgrades. That computer that I just got does not come with a solid state. That's going to be probably the next step, is getting a solid state drive. But yeah, Matney, I'll do a little wish list. The Lion Roar is in Arathi. Oh, okay, that makes sense. That's a council fight though, 4 people. What will I play in BfA? Black Marsh. Right now, I'm going to play my Prot Warrior, guaranteed. As far as my other tank, I was pretty decided on a Vengeance Demon Hunter, but I just finished doing my Blood DK series, and Blood DK looks so amazing. Blood DK is looking amazing for BfA. So now it's a toss-up. Now I'm 50-50 between Vengeance Demon Hunter and Blood DK, but for sure my Prot Warrior. I refuse to leave my Prot Warrior behind, so that'll be one of them. The other tank. Those are the 2 classes I'm going to try to keep geared as far as current content, and then all of my other alts I'll eventually bring up. Maybe I should say the gear struggle is real at low item levels. It is, Jacob. It is. Trying to get over the hump of normal to heroic to mythic dungeon gear, that's a really slow crawl. But then again, when BfA comes out, that is going to be before Old Gear even launches. So we're gonna have plenty of time to get that gear to process. We're gonna have like a month or 2. I am trying to do the grind in like 1 week so that I can show you guys mythic heroic dungeons. So it's a little bit of a struggle trying to like really get it fast, but it'll be fine once the game launches. Nice timing for BfA. Yeah, I think so too. Where are we going? We are going to Freehold. Let's see. Freehold is down here. Dungeon Freehold. Yep. So let's head over to Turgard. What's up, Matt Quinn? How you doing? The gear struggle is real at low levels for DKs. For DKs specifically. DKs were it was a little bit easier for me to gear my DK. But that's because there seem to be more two-handed weapons in dungeons than there are one-handers in shields, because there's more classes that just use those two-handers. So as a DK, it was a little bit easier for me to gear up because I didn't have to worry about a shield. Like with this new blocking system, it became a real hassle because a new shield matters a lot. If I get a new shield from this mythic, I don't know, I don't think Freehold has a shield. It does not. But if I were to get one, it could increase my mitigation by like 5 or 6%. I mean, we're talking about the old bolster talent was between 5 to 7% mitigation, depending on where your armor was. So a new shield gives you as much as what a talent point used to be. So shields are going to be really, really important. And so on a Blood DK, having a weapon helps you snap aggro and keep aggro, but it doesn't necessarily impact like your death strike healing, your passive mitigation, anything like that. So gearing up on a Blood DK I felt was a little bit easier. Alright, I'm gonna do this Mythic plush right here. You guys are gonna see the new blocking. Let me buff everybody up as well. So we can, if we want to, skip this trash and go this way and run straight into these other mobs. Everybody with me? Okay, everybody's with me. Wait, they're going this way? No, okay. Oh no, I thought I got rid of all those other weak auras. Sorry guys. I'm gonna have to get rid of those weak auras. I was trying to get import strings working for someone this weekend, so sorry about that. I'll get rid of them right now. Did suffer a death. I'm gonna go ahead and blame all of this crap on my screen. That is way too much stuff. Yeah, I was doing some importing for some people. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, I deleted the group and not the actual weak auras. What level key? This is a +2. This is a +2. I'm gonna have to get rid of all this nonsense. I'm just going to disable the add-on. Did Blizzard bring back Motherlode dungeon, or is it still down? As far as I know, it's still down. But yeah, that's I haven't tried queuing up for it because I actually don't even enjoy that dungeon. Okay, let me disable that add-on. Sorry guys. Reload. Cool. Got a 2+ shrine. Nice. Yeah, so these enforcers here, they are going to be knocking your tank around as well pretty damn badly. Oh man. The group is raging. All right, I hope we can reset, but the group is raging already. Need a meat shield. And will I do a ranking video? Yes, Thundermoose. I am going to be doing a ranking video as soon as I'm done with all of the tanking classes. I still need a Brewmaster at max level. And so once I'm done with a Brewmaster in Mythic Dungeons, that's when I will do that ranking video. Alright, is everybody coming? Okay, we're good. Alright, so sorry about the whole weak aura thing. We're good now. We're good to go. But the new blocking system should be, or is a lot better. So before, while blocking and armor, they basically shared reduction as well. Not only did they share diminishing returns, they also used to share reduction. So a shield and a block before used to do about 50% mitigation. About that much. These enforcers do reset threat. So they used to do about 50% mitigation. Now you get about 30% mitigation from blocking, and then about 30% mitigation from your armor, which is totaling out to a little bit over 50%. Alright, so I'm going to be using a lot of my mitigation here, my blocking. I do have another charge here. Let's go ahead and toss that up. Let me go ahead and throw on a demo shout right now because I don't have shield block anymore. Get ready for an interrupt here. Here we have ignore pain as well. And there's my shield block now. Also, one of the things, if you want to start holding aggro, what you should be doing is utilizing your taunt. So your taunt, while the debuff is active, you generate more threat on that target. So, like, my taunt is off right now, right? I'm going to taunt and shield slam and then Devastator as well. So that is going to really help out with that threat, is doing the really big rage or threat generators while that debuff is up. Let me go ahead and do this. Heal up while this guy's trying to beat me up. One of the mechanics of the fight. You got 385 Azurite chest. Oh hey, I have a weekly chest too. Where do we pick up the weekly chest? Because I have one. I did a Mythic +3 last week. I don't know where to pick up your Mythic Plus chest actually. How is the warrior so far? The new blocking is nice. I still wish, the only thing that I still wish is that blocking, or that ignore pain was off of the global cooldown. So that's one thing that I'm still like, you know, it's still a little upsetting. But if they change that, we're going to be above average. The way that blocking works, we're going to be in a very good spot. You think there's any remote hope that we'll get ignore pain off the global cooldown in the coming weeks? Yes. So the only reason why Blizzard doesn't want to budge and give us ignore pain off the global cooldown is because Blizzard themselves do not like ignore pain. They don't like ignore pain as a mechanic. They just don't. So that's why originally they even removed ignore pain. They don't like it. And they don't want us to have ignore pain. They want to find another solution. But right now, there is no other solution. They tried bolster. They tried a few other things. Nothing worked as well as our ignore pain. So until they find a better solution, I think they have to take ignore pain off of the global. Now, I think by the time Uldir is finished, when we finish that raid tier, we are going to find another solution for Prot warriors that is not ignore pain. But until that moment happens, I'm pretty sure I think they have to admit defeat and just take it off of the global. I think they're going to have to. So yeah, for these mythic dungeons, what I'm really trying to do is maintain uptime on one of my mitigator abilities at all times. Oh, that got me. I tried to jump out of that, and I had the debuff that when I jump, I actually get stunned. So getting a stun and taking all that magic damage just takes you out. That was my fault. I don't remember. I didn't remember that I had that debuff on me. You hope that ignore pain goes off of the global cooldown? Me too, man. Me too. They haven't found a better solution. So they should just give us back ignore pain how it was. They've already given it back to us, like, you know, a decent amount of how it was. Not completely, but a decent way of how it was. They just need to finish off and do it the whole thing. Let me take my mic off of push to talk as well. Alright. It's going to be a little bit better. Do we have a res? Cool. As you walk in the first room to the right, walk into where? Where is this building? Oh, in Zuldazar, in the pyramid area? Is that what we're talking about? So yeah, with blocking, you guys can see, like, I only have shield block up right here, and the mitigation is pretty good. I like it. Once I get stunned and stuff, that's when kind of things go down, and that's just a matter of learning mechanics for new dungeons. So we have to go this way. We have to basically escort this dog around, and this dog is definitely going to help. Uh-oh. 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 It's all of that. Every time I get stunned, aggro just goes to crap. Alright. Yeah, this, the DPS warrior in here is jumping in and blade storming with a battle cry before I even position anything, so he's dying a lot, and all I've got to say is he's a little angry at me too. But with this 80% nerf to aggro generated, can't do that anymore. Maybe with blood decays, because they have mass grip, they have death and decay, they have blood boil and diseases. Blood decays are the best AoE tank that I've had so far in the beta, but not with warriors. My thunderclap and my dragon's roar are on way too big of a cooldown for people to jump in and be so trigger happy. It's just not going to fly. There are certain classes that are going to be getting hit harder with this threat nerf, and warriors are one of them. Warriors are definitely one of them. Let me pop a few cooldowns here. I was getting really beat up there. Used to pay a blood back in Lich King before blood was the actual tank spec. Want to get back into WoW tanking? Would you still recommend blood, or is it completely different? It's completely different, but in a good way. It's completely different, but it is still the best tank for 5-man content. So if you're going to be raiding fractions, for raids, there are going to be some better tanks, but Blood DK is still honestly top 2 in my opinion. But if you're going to be doing 5-man content, like if you want to just keep it with a small guild or a small group of friends and just do Mythic Plus, Blood DK is going to be your best bet. It plays differently because it has a different toolkit, but it plays differently in a very good way. And if you put the time and effort into learning your Blood DK and learning every intricacy of how to play your Blood DK, you will be the best tank your friends have for any 5-man stuff. On a scale of 1 to 10, what do I put Prot Warriors right now? I put them, if let's see, 1 to 10, I put them at around a 7. And the biggest complaint is ignore pain. So Blizzard, and I say admitted because they haven't actually said anything, but Blizzard has kind of admitted that ignore pain is part of our survival kit. They took it away. They saw that Prot Warriors were nothing without it, so they gave it back, right? So that to me is a little bit of an admission that, like, okay, ignore pain right now is part of the core gameplay. That's how Prot Warriors play. They play with ignore pain, but it's still a very nerfed version. So they took our core survivability, ignore pain, and they put it on a global. They made it scale up now, so it's the scale on it is not bad anymore. They gave us an extra 200% AP scaling, but the fact that they are basically admitting that it's part of our core mitigation, it's weird that it's still a nerfed version of it. It's weird that it's still, you know, on that global and it's still suffering in that way. So that's my biggest complaint with Warriors now. The way the new blocking works is amazing. I love it. Alright. I have to run out of that. What the hell is all this stuff? Whoa, that is new. That is a brand new mechanic, guys. I have not seen that before. Also, not quite sure why people are DPSing this Raul guy. The Raul guy is not who we should be focusing on. What is this? Movement speed increased by 40%. Oh, that's interesting. It's to run out of Raul's whatever the hell it is. Why is the warrior DPSing this guy? We're all gonna die. So yeah, I would put warriors at about a 6 or 7. And that the biggest complaint is ignore pain. It's part of our core rotation. It's part of our core abilities. Why is it still a nerfed version of it? That means that our core rotation and our core abilities have been nerfed, and it's not in a good way. It doesn't feel good. Alright, I gotta take care of this blackout barrel. There it is. Uh-oh, this guy's really close to these ads. Okay, he didn't pull them. Perfect. I've got a few charges of shield block here, so I'll be able to just live this just fine. There it is, another charge of shield block. Perfect. So now, let's keep it going. First few months will be, first few months are going to be really hectic for tanks. And that's because, like in the beginning of the dungeon, when I was having all those weak auras pop up, the group got really upset because I didn't have aggro. But if you go back and you look, they body pulled 2 pulls for me. So body pulling on your tanks is going to be really deadly now in order to try to catch up on that threat. It's just going to be really deadly. And not only body pulling is deadly, but I have a really trigger happy DPS warrior who jumps in, battle cries, and blade storms, and he is also going to just be one of the things that is really hurtful to this threat generation. Wait, what? They want to go this? Why did we even come up here then? What? They were saying go here, come up here, we're gonna go this way, and I don't understand. Oh, see, this guy again, he pulled aggro off of me. He blade stormed. He battle cry blade stormed. I'm not, again, I don't know why. Alright, I'm gonna have to pop a few cooldowns here. I have the Crusher on me, and I just got back one of my charges of shield block, so let me just go ahead and pop shield block right here. Come on. Oh, I couldn't get a charge off. One of the things right now that's also really glitchy in the beta is charge. There's a lot of no path available. A lot of it. Just way too much of it, if you ask me. Doing a +2? Yes, this is a +2. Sorry, chat. Trying to keep the group happy and try to keep you guys happy. Really? They want to go this way? I've never fought lizard men. Alright. So, I'm knocking these guys out. I have a charge of shield block right now. I don't need to pop Demo Shout. That guy, again, with his battle cry and his blade storm, pulled a little bit of threat there. You can ask him to wait a couple globals. He already is cussing at me. He already said that I'm a shit tank. But yeah, you know, popping all your cooldowns on a tank without really good AoE. I have Thunderclap on a 6-second. I have Dragon Roar on a 45-second or 35-second. It's gonna be a bad time for everyone. The only way for me to hold aggro is to use all my rage on revenge spamming, and that means that I don't have my rage to use on mitigation, on ignore pains, on shield blocks. So kind of feels bad, man, but we've all got to get used to it slowly. It's definitely gonna be a very uphill struggle for everyone to understand what the threat generation nerfs are really meaning to your tanks, because they really are heavy. Make a macro that says wait 4 seconds before engaging, thank you. Yeah, we're definitely gonna need something like that. But see, when I'm allowed to pick up threat, like that guy, I was able to even kite him. No big deal. Am I doing keys right now? Yeah, Bradley. +2. You don't see me using Impending Victory. Since I don't have my weak auras, I'm not using it as much as I should be. But yeah, I'm trying to commentate and keep everything going smoothly. You can't stand people like that, especially knowing the threat nerfs and everything. Not everybody keeps up with the threat nerfs, Jeremy. That's the thing. Most people only read the patch notes that pertain to them, right? So if I was a hunter, Beastmaster, I'm going to read the Beastmaster patch notes, maybe the survival, maybe the marksman, but I'm not really gonna read Prot warrior changes. Like I don't care. So most people who have not played a tank are not really going to be reading the patch notes and understanding that there is a big nerf. I mean, how many times on Live Legion have you ran Skittish and on Skittish had someone just go completely in? How many times on Skittish did you have a warrior go in, pop Recklessness and Draft of Souls at the same time, pull aggro, die, and then say, God, you're such a shitty tank. And you're like, what are you talking about? You've gotten the beta and you're rolling Blood DK. It felt really crappy at 120. Yeah, there is a huge difference. There is a huge difference. As soon as I hit level 120 on my Blood DK, it wasn't amazing, but it wasn't bad. The thing that made a big difference for me was upgrading my weapon the first time, because I personally had a really bad one on my Blood DK. And then it was just a matter of learning the fights as well. Knowing when to Death Strike, knowing when to use my Vamp Blood. Opening up with a Blood Drinker and a Taunt is huge as well for threat. Like, there's a few little things. What are the affixes for this key? It is right now just Fortified. Until you get, I think at a +4 you get extra stuff. And by the way, hello Mohammed. How you doing, my friend? Guardian AoE threat is pretty good. Bradley... Everyone knows about the threat nerfs. You sure, everyone? I haven't looted the chest this week, by the way. And Guardian Druid AoE aggro isn't as good as you might imagine. So, Guardian Druids have a lot of AoE potential because all of their moves are AoE. And while leveling up, it's amazing. While you're leveling up, their AoE threat, you can't touch it. They're just going to run through a dungeon, spam swipe, and they don't have to worry about it. At max level, their damage scaling is not that impressive. So if you're playing Guardian Druid, you're still going to have to be careful with threat. You know, I have a level 120 Guardian Druid, and I can tell you sincerely that the DPS, oh no, servers are going to go down in 15 minutes. Blizzard, really? We're doing stuff and things here. They went from 15 minutes to 5 instantly? Blizzard, what are you doing? Why are you instantly making 10 minutes disappear from the shutdown? So yeah, we have 5 minutes right now. I think we can finish the dungeon in 5 minutes, to be honest with you. But yeah, I think the Guardian Druids, their threat isn't as great as you might think. They're very AoE oriented, I agree. But their damage scaling is not as high as you would want it to be. You're still going to be losing threat. Let me do a little bit of cooldowns here. I can also do an Impending Victory. Let's do that. You're right. I haven't been using Impending Victory as much as I should. Normally my weak aura really yells at me and tells me to use it. Sad to say, I have become dependent on my own weak auras. Because I'm not used to running Impending Victory too. That has a lot to do with it. Alright. So, can we... Yes, we can go this way. Go back the way that we came from. Why do I keep getting stuck on all these textures? And we can go across the bridge. We have 3 minutes. I don't know if we can actually do it in 3 minutes. The last boss is probably going to take 3 minutes. They're updating threat? I hope so, Jeremy. I hope so. The nerf to threat is one of the things that I don't understand from this dungeon. I don't think there's anyone that really says like, hey, you know what I really like about threat? I like worrying about it so much and having to use taunt all the time. Like, there's a difference between threat being somewhat manageable and saying, hey, you know what? Threat shouldn't just be free. I shouldn't be able to pull a whole room and run away from it for 10 minutes and not have to worry about it, right? And that's how Legion is right now. Threat is insane right now. I get it. Oh god, this pull, that is going to kill us. Okay, good luck to everyone. I think that means that this is a rip key, guys. Why the double pull? Those 2 pulls are not very nice either. So yeah, I think there's a difference between saying threat is difficult to get and to keep, and threat is just always going to bounce around. And right now, threat is just one of those things that's going to bounce around. when we compare it to stuff like Wrath of the Lich King when the numbers were like this, in Wrath of the Lich King, DPS cooldowns weren't as insane as they are now. Right now, DPS cooldowns provide a huge DPS boost. Right now, we also have... Oh, we're doing this. Okay, perfect. So DPS cooldowns are way crazier. Also, during Wrath of the Lich King, every tank had an AoE taunt as well. So there was different things to deal with the threat that right now we don't have in our toolkit. You know, people don't have a giant AoE taunt. DPS cooldowns are insane right now. They provide so much burst. So using all this kind of stuff, like this is just stuff that while we're going back to Wrath of the Lich King numbers, we don't have a Wrath of the Lich King toolkit anymore. We don't. So Wrath of the Lich King numbers feel like they're the wrong numbers to go by because everything is a little bit different now. Alright, let me pop Ignore Pain here. I don't have anything up in terms of block value, but I still have my Ignore Pain up, so not too much to worry about here. Here it is, another Ignore Pain. Let me drag him back into this corner because he is going to start running around the whole platform at like 50% or something. He also summons ads. I see the ad over there. Oh, okay, so the ad targets someone and just suicides. Just targets someone and dies. Blows up. Okay, good to know. I'm also going to taunt and get my Dragon's Roar off for extra threats. I'm going to try to keep the boss somewhat in a corner here so that he doesn't just run around everywhere. Going to be using my shield block again. So this guy again ran to one of my range targets over there and blew up on him. I think the healer, actually. I need to run out of all of this fire. Can I wonder if this fire... Yeah, there it is. I was like, this fire should be disappearing soon. And it did. Okay. So, that's going to be the rip key here. That guy ran straight into these mobs. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. That's what you get for not clearing everything. But the server shuts down in 10 seconds. Alright, server shut down. Alright, guys, hold on. Let's, B. Let me switch this over. Let me catch up with you guys too, and I'll relaunch to see what they're saying. Debated. Oh man, they get me every time. Okay, let me catch up with you guys. But the threat nerf has been highlighted quite a lot. At the end of the day. At the end of the day, it's for him at least not. Yeah, the threat has been highlighted a lot. Am I gonna do Mythic Bless with my DK and or Druid? I can, Sebastian. I absolutely can. Thanks for the sub, by the way. I appreciate it. Second DPS is the Holy Pally. Do you mind covering what exactly is a new block system? Absolutely, Austin. Absolutely, I will. The question for Blood is tier 1 talent points. Getting the extra rune every now and then feels good. Getting the extra rune does feel really good with Blood Drinker. Rune Strike is going to be, is definitely going to have its place. I really like Blood Drinker because it gives me a really good opener, Jacob. So without much thought to it, you know, without having to really break your head and try to generate that threat, if you hit Taunt and Blood Drinker in that sequence on a dungeon boss or a raid boss, you have so much threat, you don't have to worry about it. So that's what I really, really like about Blood Drinker. It also helps to heal you a little bit in a pinch. The healing is not amazing, but yeah. They're shutting down to buff Ignore Pain? I hope so, man. Threat reduction means you need to take your time with packs and dungeons. They increase the time played, which benefits Blizzard from metric. It does, Thor, but at the same time, they're slowing down the game, but then they have this MDI, which they want to be fast-paced and be time trials. So you have time trials going. You have time trials, but at the same time you're slowing down the game. It seems like two different messages. It's to counteract kiting strategies. I agree. I think the big part of it is to counteract kiting strategies, but I think the nerf has gone a little too far. So instead of an 80% nerf, if they would have done a 50 or 60% nerf, I think it would have been in a good position as well. No one saw that. The crash server wiped me. You've settled on making a Prot Warrior for raids using Bloody Hair for Mythic Plus. Nice, man. Nice. Demon Hunter is the best tank class. Prove me wrong. I don't want to. I don't want to. Demon Hunters are very fun. Not necessarily the best, but very fun. So let me go over the whole new blocking system. So let me see. I'm going to have to go like this to show you guys the new blocking. So let me scroll up. The new blocking system is this this blue line here. So the blue line is... Can I zoom in on this? No. Okay. So this is the new blocking system, right? It doesn't show diminishing returns with block and with armor. And let me actually do this. It's gonna be a better way of showing you guys. So the new blocking system does not share diminishing returns, right? So let me actually save this and add it here. 1 second, guys. Let me find it somewhere on the desktop. So the new blocking, and these are the numbers that are currently in live, and this is how things are going to work. So in a normal dungeon, if you have normal dungeon gear, the blocking is going to mitigate 33%. So normal blocking is getting a buff. Critical blocking is getting a little bit of a nerf to begin with, and then it ends up being very similar. So normal blocking in the beginning of a dungeon is going to be 33%. That's an increase from Legion. Critical blocking is going to be at 50% with this shield, but by the time you're ready to run the normal raid, you're going to be Mythic Dungeon geared, right? So your normal blocks are going to be doing 37% block, and critical blocks are going to be doing 54%. So you're going to be doing more steady damage taken in. Your regular blocks are going to be better. Your critical blocks are going to be less. Once you're done normal raid, you're going to be way better than Legion numbers. You're going to be a little bit less crit block, but a little bit more regular block. So what this really means overall, just to give you guys a simplified message, is that regular blocking is getting a buff. Critical blocking is getting a little bit of a nerf to start off with, but then it's going to get better. So as the expansion goes on, blocking is going to get better than it was in Legion by a lot. By a lot. If you look at the very bottom part of this, the Mythic raid right here, if you have full Mythic raid gear, and this is the first raid, your regular block is 15% better than in Legion, and your critical block is 1% better than in Legion. So as we start going to raid 2, raid 3, raid 4 in the expansion, our regular block is going to increase to about 60%, I would imagine. Excuse me, I would imagine about 60%. And our critical block is going to hit low 70s. That's the type of diminishing return I expect to see. So overall, we should see it's going to start off with very close to Legion numbers when the expansion hits, but then it's going to go up and increase way above that. So overall, a very big buff to blocking. Paladins get a little bit less armor because they don't get armor from strength, so that's why you guys see the Paladin tab over here next to the Warrior one. And so Warriors are always going to be mitigating a little bit better than Paladins, but Paladins, their Shield of the Righteous increases their armor by a very good amount, so they're going to be able to scale up their armor a lot better than Warriors can, while Warriors depend on their crit blocks. I did run a Mythic Plus last week, so let's hop over to live and do that. So I hope this helps simplify what blocking is. I'm going to be doing a video all about it tomorrow, so I need to work on kind of simplifying my message, but it's a little difficult when it has diminishing returns. So overall, regular blocking is better. Critical blocking is going to start off a little bit worse, but it's going to get better. Rib key, it really is a rib key. You know, it's a really good treat thing, but being locked with 0 runes from time to time feels worse if you ask me. Oh, a threat thing. Yeah, Jacob, I agree. If you don't think about your runes ahead of time, it feels really bad when you don't have that rune available. Don't remember which Mythic Plus it was. You think Waycrest was like 45-minute timer? Wow. Wow. The threat reduction applies to all tanks. It's still a level playing field for the MDIs. Yes, but every tank has a different toolkit that responds to that threat differently. If you look at something like a Demon Hunter or a Death Knight, their threat is going to be insane because they have Death and Decay. They have Heart Strike. If they're standing on that Death and Decay, their Heart Strike hits up to 5 targets. They have Blood Plague, which is applied by Blood Boil. So a lot of things are passive cleave. Demon Hunters have Immo Aura. They have I forget what their leap is called right now, but they have Immo Aura, their leap, Soul Cleave, Spirit Bomb. The only thing that doesn't cleave is Fracture or Shear, depending on what you're going to be running in BfA. So everything is going to be doing passive AoE threat. But then you talk about warriors, you have Shield Slam and you have Devastate as part of your core rotation abilities. None of those are going to be cleaving. Thunderclap is once every 6 seconds. Thunderclap is also very, very low on damage and low on threat. If they increase the threat multiplier on Thunderclap, that'd be a really nice thing as well. Dragon Roar, you need to pick up as a talent point. It's not something that's baked in. It's on a 35-second cooldown. I think it was 25, now it's 35. And Shockwave, and that's about it. All these things have really long cooldowns. Revenge costs your primary resource. Revenge is like saying use Maul on your druid. It's not something that you want to rely on because you want that rage to go towards healing you and mitigating for you either shield block or ignore pain. So while I agree that the reduction applies to all tanks and it should be a level playing field from Legion, I think we can also agree that Legion wasn't the most level playing field when it came to all the tanks. Guardian Druids were just insane when it came to raiding, and Blood DKs are insane when it comes to Mythic Plus. So I think a little bit more tuning wouldn't hurt anyone. You hope the new beta build is coming with 10% increase to DK HP. I don't think they need it, man. I really don't think they need it. You feel like Brewmaster will be able to break Blizzard's anti-kiting because they can range taunt Angry Dave statue and then use special delivery 50% slow. The thing is, you can taunt all you want, but unless you follow up that taunt with a little bit of actual damage, you're not going to get that much higher in terms of threat. I haven't even done my AP quest line, by the way, guys. Am I going to do the max weapon quest? I think we have to, Mohammed. I think we have to. You personally love the playstyle of Demon Hunter tanking. Favorite tank regardless of meta. I agree, Jeremy. I agree. I think in terms of how fun a tanking class is and how it feels, I think Demon Hunters are the best tank for that right now. They feel very aggressive, and you go out there and you're tanky because you're tanky. You don't have to worry about too much. Like, you throw up demon spikes whenever you have charges for it, whenever you need to mitigate certain things, but you're never like, do I have a full ignore pain up? Do I have to have this up? Do I have to have that up? That's really relegated to like really higher end levels of raiding and Mythic Pluses. But Demon Hunters feel inherently tanky. They run in, they get the job done, no big deal, and they feel very aggressive, and that's definitely what I like about them. What did we get? We got 960 gloves, crit mass. Not what we want. Not what we want. Getting an upgrade for your shield is going to feel great with the block changes. Yes, Salty Salt. Each shield is going to be doing... Actually, let's look. Each shield is going to be mitigating. So you guys are seeing here in the block, the first shield is almost 3%, and then we have 2.1%. Like, each shield is going to be doing 2 or 3% more mitigation on a regular block. So that can be one of those talent points. Like, when they gave Bolster as a talent point, that was like 5% mitigation. So new shields are going to provide, you know, significant percentage points with 2 or 3%. And when you start counting into account like critical blocking and then the secondary stats on it too, or the primary stats on it too, each shield also has base armor baked in, so it's going to be increasing your block, it's going to be increasing your armor, it's also going to be increasing your main stat. So strength is going to be increasing. If you're a warrior, that means that your ignore pain sizes get bigger as well. Where did we do this new quest line, by the way? Racist much? What? Oh, man. Where is this? Alright, Finn. It's been cool, man. Yeah, getting an upgrade. Yeah, guys. Oh, man. Last beta build posted on Wowhead said the veteran of the 3rd rank war was getting buffed from 50 to 60%. Oh, that's true, Jacob. That's true. I forgot about that. You're absolutely right. That already went live. I'm pretty sure that was the build that went up on Friday with the blocking changes. The reduction from 10 to 7% will feel better than the 10% health. Engaging and fun and also good. Yes, Demon Hunters are very engaging and fun. Yes. The statue AoE taunt, you'll have Keg Smash AoE, special delivery range kegs with the slow and breath of fire. That's true, Matthew. So I haven't played that Brewmaster yet, but I'm going to. Also, since a lot more of you guys are here, I want to show you guys something that I'm very, very excited about. So, 1 second. So the stream started a little bit late today, and then last stream I did mention that I hadn't withdrawn anything from like the Patreon money or the sponsorship money, all of the monetary support that you guys give to me. I hadn't withdrawn any of it, and so I finally did it. And I was shopping around. I found a really good deal. Let me show you guys. I started the stream a little bit late today, so let me show you guys this. So this is the new rig. This is a new rig right here. So thanks to all of your support and all of you guys helping me over on Patreon and sponsoring the channel and donating. I was able to get that new rig today. There's still a few bits and pieces that are gonna get here later. I needed to go pick that up today, actually. But the new pieces should get here tomorrow and Friday, so I'll be setting that up on the weekend. And so content now is going to be filmed at 1080p instead of 720. The streams should be getting better. So every now and then I do experience lag because of my current setup, so streams should be getting smoother. Bitrate should be getting better. I can run more things now. I'll be able to do all of this. And so Mohammed, huge shout out to you. When Mohammed heard that I was going to be upgrading my rig setup, he also reached out to me and helped out more, and he went above and beyond like anything that I ever imagined. So there's a few more things coming in on the weekend, and I'll be able to set up like a really, really cool station. So that is thanks to all of you guys and thanks to all of your support. So huge shout out to all of you guys for supporting me, for subscribing, for stopping by and commenting and subscribing, keeping the chat going here, commenting over on YouTube, following me, whether you follow me here on Twitter, anywhere that it is that you follow me and that you really help and interact with me. Thank you. I really, really, really appreciate it. And thank you, Jeremy. Thank you. Death Strike reduction from 10 to 7 will be negated with the 10% health increases. That's what you were getting at. Oh, okay, I see what you mean. The questline starts in Orgrimmar from Nathandros. All right, let's get it done. I haven't done it at all, so I don't even know what the questline does. I already saw a meme about the storyline. What have you given or what have you sacrificed? I don't know. We'll see. That was dumb of him to say that and childish. I agree, Jeremy. I agree. There's one thing I don't like. Hector, you're lucky. You're lucky I know you. And I agree. If there's one thing I don't like, is just, you know, intolerant people. Mike, thanks for that. All right, so let's start this quest line and get our. I heard that your weapon goes up an insane amount, right? And you basically get like a crazy amount of versatility. Wait, where the hell's Nathanos? Is this Orc Commoner? No. Where is this guy? What did you miss? Bad timing? A little bit. There was someone in here who was being really racist. And we just banned him. Guys, we're in Orgrimmar. Nathandros. Is it not here? I thought he was right outside of the hall. Oh, there's the new area. Over here. Your weapon gets to 126. Oh, man. There it is. Yeah, he'll be in here. Cool. Sylvanas, please. Second ally to pursue. No, I don't want to unlock. What is it that I still need to unlock? The elves. The Nightborn. I don't want to unlock it. He's supposed to be at the palace where people are mounted. What? Do I need to log out and log back in? You were watching Mythic on Taurus last night, and monks were bursting at 10 million with the new oh, wow. Yeah, I've heard that the new weapon makes things really, really insane. That you get like 60% versatility from Concordance. Just go to Silithus? Alright. Let's go to Silithus. If I can go to Caverns of Time, right? Or I can go to Oldham. Let's go to Oldham and go over to Silithus. Have I done all the Magni questline quests? I've done some of them. Honestly, guys, I'm very behind in Legion. And by the way, if anyone could tell me when the beta goes back up, that would be great. I'd love to go loot my Mythic Plus chest. Still not up. Beta's still not up. Okay. You've heard he's not there to reblog. It's right on Wowhead. What? Oh, so if he's not there to relog. Okay. You need to do it all in Magni. Got it. Got it. Yeah, the potato. The guy was saying. I mean, besides that, he was also saying very racist things. All right. Pre-ordering Fallout 76. Have I ever even played any of the Fallout games? I have not played any of the Fallout games, but they look really good. Especially like the old school New Vegas and Fallout 3 with the VAT system. They look really, really cool. But I have not had time to really play that many of them. But the new Fallout 76, definitely, I'll tell you what, with this new rig, I don't see why not. So I haven't pre-ordered it. I want to see a little bit more on it right now. I think right now I've been burned a lot by like all these games that look really cool beforehand, and there's a lot of hype and people pre-order them and get into early alpha and early beta, and then people are like, wait, it's alpha, it's beta, it's gonna get better, and then the game launches and they're like, it didn't get better. This is terrible. I hate this. So I am holding off on pre-ordering the large majority of things. Yeah, right now, just not doing a whole lot of pre-orders. But yeah, the new rig, so to tell you guys a little bit about the new rig, in case you guys are big computer geeks, it's got a Ryzen 7 1700 in it. It's got 16 gigs of DDR4 RAM, and then I have an RX 580 coming in tomorrow. Cool. So I have an RX 580 coming in tomorrow or Friday, I forget. Thanks to Muhammad's very generous support. I also have a 1440p monitor coming in on Friday as well, and a stream deck. So I'll be able to swap scenes between live and beta, and then maybe even like any of the spreadsheets I'll show you guys, or any of these new numbers and things like that. So a lot of these things are coming up. I'm also like currently trying to look for a new setup in terms of desks, so I can mount up that new monitor and get 2 monitors set up, so that you guys, and when I say you guys, I mean chat right now for me is on an iPad, so that you guys will be on another monitor instead of this. So yeah, there's a few things that are left to do, but the big things and the big setup will get done this weekend. And again, honestly, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for your support. Whoa, this is what we're doing right now. All right. Hold on, there's other games we find besides World of Warcraft. There's a few, I've seen them on the launcher. Something about Black Ops and Overwatch. Someone's got some sort of Destiny going on. I don't know. I don't know what the hell is going on with that. Alright, so I haven't done this. Yeah, but someone's gonna make a profit out of it. So then why would I give it back to you? Let me just absorb the power. Alright. Cool. So now I'm going to go overthrow Sylvanas, right? I have the greatest power on Azeroth in my weapon. My weapon is extremely strong. Why don't I go become the leader of the Horde? It is time for a military coup right now. Can I go solo Anduin? What is this? Oh! Nice! This is my weapon going Super Saiyan? Is that what's happening? Lorenzo, I'll catch you up right now. Give me a second. What the hell is going on here? All right. Heading out. Always thanks Matthew. Thank you. You're playing D3 until launch. You head to live for Mythic. He's nice. You guess you need to come out from under this rock. Yeah. Sargeras will be reborn from our artifact weapons. That's what it looks like. So Lorenzo, the blocking changes. They no longer share diminishing returns. So a quick, simple thing that I can show you is this guy right here. Let me move it over. So what this shows you is that a warrior and a paladin. So a normal dungeon gear, heroic, mythic dungeon gear. This row right here is armor. Or actually, let me put it right here on top of my head. So the top row is armor, and then this bottom row right above my head is blocking. So now the system is kind of like it works now in Legion, right? So right now if I block 38% of incoming damage, and then critical block is, you know, that 60%. That's the way blocking works. Blocking is scaling. Blocking is normally 30%. I've got some artifact things going, right? So blocking is 30%, critical blocking is 38 baseline. So now blocking is going to be dependent on my shield. So if I am Mythic 0 dungeon geared, my blocks are going to be doing 37% mitigation, and my critical blocks are going to be doing 54%. So what this means is that going into the first raid, your normal blocks are going to be stronger than in Legion, but your critical blocks are going to be a little bit weaker than in Legion. Your armor mitigation is still going to be really, really good. Going into it, you're going to have 47% passive mitigation. And then once you're done with the first raid, So if you do it in Mythic mode, the first raid, you'll be at 45% regular blocks, 61% critical blocks. So what this means is that your regular blocks are going to get way better. So by the time the first raid is done, going into the second, third, and fourth, maybe even fifth raid of the expansion, your regular blocks are going to be almost as strong as critical blocks now in Legion. So if you ask me about like numbers and how everything's going to work, I think your normal blocking by the end of the expansion is going to be in the mid 60 percentages, and your critical blocking is going to be in the mid 70 percentages. So imagine blocking 60% of incoming damage with a regular block, and then the rest of that damage is going to go through your armor. Your armor at the end of a regular mythic raid is going to be above 54% mitigation, so you're going to be taking like 10% of the original damage. Your block is going to do like 60% mitigation, and then your armor is going to do another 60% after that calculation. So blocking got a huge buff. Insane buff. So that puts Prot Warriors in a very, very good place. Let me hearth back to Dalaran. There's people doing Mage Tower with Artifact Fishing Pole now. Really? Oh, man. Do I have fun on the bear thinking about playing Druid or Feral Bear? You're like using the same weapon for both. Sap Beer, I don't like playing a bear, but then again, I never have. Something about the class just isn't for me. Something about turning into the bear and tanking is just, it's not something I personally enjoy. So yeah, since I've never really enjoyed a bear, on beta I wasn't crazy about it, but I can tell you that it's strong. It's definitely nerfed a lot in comparison to Legion, but it's still good. It is still a very solid tank. You are the fact that you can stack up Iron First stacks, the fact that most of your things are passive AoEs, it's all like pointing in a very strong direction. Lorenzo, yeah, no problem, man. No problem. I'm going to be releasing like a more in-depth and simplified version of the whole blocking thing tomorrow. I need to finish up that script, but yeah, I kind of wanted to show you guys today. But the oh, there's a new BfA beta build, guys. I am trying to download the patch in the background. What is this new build? Because there was a new build on Friday. Don't let them nerf blocking. Please no. Not like this. I'm so happy. It's a 93 meg patch. That's not too bad. It's not too bad. No problem, Satbeer. Yeah, if you like playing a druid, there's nothing wrong with them. They're very strong. Gearing up a druid was the easiest experience I've had. So Satbeer, I have leveled up in the beta, leveled up to max level and geared up until I can do mythic dungeons. I have done a Prot Paladin, a Prot Warrior, a Guardian Druid, and a Blood DK, and the Guardian Druid was the easiest by a long shot. It wasn't even like close. Guardian Druid was just so easy to gear up. So in terms of like going into a raid and doing those raid mechanics and learning things, Guardian Druids are going to be really good for you. They're gonna have that room for error, because actually it says now it's downloading 2 gigs. Alright, the beta patch went from 93 megs to 2 gigs. So yeah, Guardian Druids are easy to level up. They're gonna be easy to maintain. Yeah, if you like Guardian Druids, you know, stick with that. What's up, nerds? How you doing, man? How much stamina did I gain from that? I think I was like at 9.4. I don't think there was an insane amount of stamina gained. I definitely was in the 9 mils. I'm at 9.6 now. Not a crazy amount. Oh, wait, what the hell? No, yeah, I think I was. I didn't know that it was this high. But yeah, I think I was like 9.15, 9.4, something like that. I'd have to go watch the replay. I was in the 9 mils. But I think concordance is what really makes a difference here, right? Let me go smack something to see how much concordance gives me. Concordance would be a ton of versatility. Let me jump down. There's constantly spawning mobs down here. What's up, Tommy? How you doing, man? You think the Blood DK HP buff build your tooltips 50%? Oh, okay. I thought that had gone live in Friday's patch, but to be honest, I didn't log into my Blood DK at all this weekend. I logged into my Warrior and did calculations for blocking, so if that was it, I don't know. Is this... Alright, give me Concordance. Give me Concordance. I want to see my versatility go from 20%. There it is. Versatility 80%? Increases damage done by 80%. I need to do all my mage towers now. I didn't think I was going to be able to do my mage tower on my mage itself, but with 80% concordance, yeah, I can do it. Did I use your $10 wisely yet, nerds? I have. You got to get yours done too. There's new info on MMO. Let me check it out. You've been trolling Blood DK since it became a tank. Blood DK is very, very strong, man. I don't know if Zondalar trolls are going to be able to be DKs, because right now the allied races can't be a hero class, but it'd be nice. It would be nice. So what I see, I don't see your blood buff here on MMO champ, because I do think that was last time. And no Prot warrior changes either. No paladin, no Prot paladin changes. Brewmaster, yes, rushing Jadewind got a big buff to attack power, so it's going to be better at snapping threat. This was published, yeah, this was published today. So yeah, this is the new stuff. So Monk's got a little bit of a buff on rushing Jadewind if you're running that. Or rushing, what is it called? Rushing Jadewind. So if you're running that for AoE pickup, that's going to get a nice threat bump up. Is anyone else super lagging? Yeah. Keeping up to date? Yes. So nerds, the stream started a little bit late today because I actually needed to drive out about an hour or so to pick up the new PC. And I've gone and I've shown it off a few times. It's still in the box. I want to do a proper unboxing when I get everything here. So the new PC is here. That is thanks to everyone over on Patreon, everyone that sponsors, everyone that donates. All of that money I had not withdrawn. And so now that I had a decent amount, enough to be able to upgrade my rig, I went ahead and picked that up. This Friday I'm getting my video card, my monitor, and a stream deck. And so I'll be setting that up this weekend, and then after that it's going to be slow upgrades. This PC doesn't have a solid state hard drive to load up WoW a little bit better, so I'm going to be tossing in a solid state hard drive in there. So yeah, eventually slower changes, but the big change is happening right now. New build and no change to Prot Warrior. Yeah, no changes to Prot Warriors right now. But yeah, nerds, I definitely put your donation to good use, my friend. Just off the top of my head, things that I know, this is the PC is a Ryzen 7 1700 CPU. It is 16 gigs of RAM. It has a standard 1 terabyte hard drive, no big deal. The graphics card in it is a very minimal one, but I ordered an RX 580, so I'm gonna put an RX 580 in there. Ryzen 7 1700, 16 gigs of RAM. All these things, and it's DDR4 RAM, so all these things should greatly help out. And like right now I even see a little bit of lag. Encoding overloaded. Yeah, OBS overloads every now and then on this PC, so I'm upgrading. And I looked up the date of my current PC. I'm nearing like 5.5 years of this PC. Oh, my encoding is getting overloaded too because I'm downloading the beta patch right now, so trying to hop back over to beta. It says it's in playable condition, but I don't even know if the servers are up. I'm just going to let it finish downloading. 1 more gig. You missed it. Does this make Prot Warrior go up a few tiers? Sadistic, yes. Oh, Sadistic. We've been chatting a lot in the comment section. So Sadistic, here's the quick breakdown. The quick breakdown of the numbers that are 100% sure. These numbers are guaranteed. The rest of things are projections according to how these numbers are working, right? So, even though it says projected, these are real numbers in the beta right now. So warriors, if you're normal dungeon geared, if you're gonna walk into Old Deer when the first raid comes out, you're gonna be mythic dungeon geared, right? So warriors, you're gonna have 47% armor mitigation, and then your blocking is gonna be 37% blocking. So what this means is that if 1,000 damage is coming in, it's gonna get reduced by 37.9% first, and then it's gonna go through to you and then get reduced by that 47% after. So this puts BfA blocking better than Legion blocking. Critical blocking is going to be a little bit worse. Critical blocking is right above my head here, and it starts off worse. It starts off at 50%, but by the end of the first raid tier, if you're raiding Mythic, you're getting better numbers, right? A critical block in Legion is 60% baseline. So by the end of the first raid by Mythic, you're going to have better critical block, and your regular block is going to do 45%. In Legion, your regular block always did 30%, your critical block always did 60%. So your regular blocks are getting a huge bump up, and then your critical blocks are getting a slow eventual bump up as the progression goes on. So by the time we start going to raid 2, 3, 4, and 5, your block is going to approach like 60%, and your critical block is going to approach probably like mid 70s. So blocking got a huge buff. This, like, I did not expect blocking to get this big of a buff. It's gonna scale and it's gonna become insane. So in terms of how good Prot Warriors and how good Prot Paladins are going to be, shields are just insane. Just insane. There is no need for anything. Like this puts us on the map. The only thing we need now is Ignore Pain off the global, and we're good to go. Nerds, I know, man. I know. I'm telling you. What processor and GPU did I get? Satbeer, the processor is a Ryzen. I kept wanting to say Ryzen. Ryzen 7 1700. The GPU is an RX 580. $10 was able to get me that graphics card. 100% nerds. 100%. You wish I could have gotten it for $5. You don't know if you can recall, but Ryzen combo with a Ryzen 7 motherboard RX 580. You'll try to find it on Newegg so you can check if it is cheaper. For sure, Satbeer. It might not run Solitaire, but you can get Satbeer, how much is the price? Because I was looking on Newegg. The only Ryzen 7 1700 that I saw on Newegg was in the realm of like 868, I think 860 is what I found it on Newegg. But I was able to find a very good clearance deal on this PC. So that the PC I've shown, the box that I've shown, the reason why I drove out over an hour to go get it was because it was on a very, very deep discount. You like that? Thanks. Yeah, no problem, Sadistic. Glad to catch your stream, Sal. Sal, I'm glad you're here. I'm downloading the BfA patch. Ooh, it's green. I can launch it now. Let me see. Admiral, hi. Salute to you too, my friend. I'm glad you're here. It's been a while, Admiral. How you been, man? Alright, I'm trying to launch the beta right now. Since it was in the middle of downloading, it might take me a little bit. Let's see if the realms are back up. If they're not, we can actually go into a Mythic Plus and live and play a live Prot Warrior. Not yet. Realms are not up. Okay. Let's go do a key. What kind of rip keys can we get into today? I don't even know what the affixes are. The affixes are Teeming, Quaking, Fortified. Not too bad. I don't like Court of Stars, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. 19 Neltharians. We'll give it a shot. It's 580 for Ryzen 7 1700, 580, 8 gigabytes, B350. So, that's a very good deal. Let me see. Ryzen RX 580. Ryzen 7 1700. You said it's what? 580. Let's do this. I don't see it on Newegg. Sat Beer, can you message that to me via YouTube here on my channel page? There should be a way to click messages, and you can DM me, or you can send it over on Discord if you have that available. By the way, you know your weapon looks like it's gonna explode, nerds. I did it not that long ago. My weapon is going Super Saiyan, my friend. My weapon has all the Super Saiyan in it. I don't think I can enable link. Let's see. I can't enable link posting. What is my Discord? Let me get you the link for that, my friend. Let's copy that. That is the Discord. Alright, let's try to find a rib key. 18, Maw. Not crazy about Maw either, but we can get it done. How many people were surprised by new content that wasn't from the BfA beta this week? I was. When I saw that, I was like, oh no, there's more to do. I'm trying to knock out all this other stuff in Legion. I mean, in the beta. Like, I'm just trying to get things done. Stop it. But yeah, that was definitely surprising. Okay, they already have someone coming. Let's go on over to Maw of Souls. And beta, you need to finish downloading. Keep downloading, keep downloading. What do my talents look like on live? I am running Warbringer, which I love for Mythic Plus. Booming Voice and Anger Management are two of my really go-to as well. Don't look like I'm running Devastator. I am running Devastator. I'm gonna need to pause this. Okay, we'll pause that. It was bumping me down. Post it under general. Cool, thank you, Sat Beer. I appreciate it. Combat Crate bundle. Oh, nice. Nice. Okay. Thank you, I appreciate it. You've seen the Devastate icon on my bar. So I wasn't running Devastator for the first few raids of this expansion. So I wasn't running Devastator for Emerald Nightmare, TOV, and I think some of Nighthold. I think Nighthold is when I started jumping on over to Devastator. But I want that key binding. So the whole expansion, I was always like, I don't want to delete my muscle memory. I don't want to delete my muscle memory for Devastator because I might need to use it next raid tier. So I left it on my bars, and I'm glad I did, because in BfA, Devastator's not that good. It doesn't generate rage. So I don't run Devastator in BfA, so I actually do need to click things actively. So I'm glad that muscle memory is still there, and I didn't just delete all my muscle memory by getting rid of Devastator. So that's why I still have Devastator in my bars, and I'm kind of glad that I did it that way. All right, they said pull big. We'll see how that goes. Teaming quaking. All right. So Satbeer, my current build that I got was a Ryzen 7 1700. Ryzen 7 1700, 16 gigs of RAM, which that extra 8 gigs of RAM, I think would run me about $70 for a decent brand of RAM, and then 1 terabyte hard drive. So the clearance deal that I managed to find was about $600 for all of that, which I think is a pretty damn good deal. It was for about $300 on sale, and the reason why I drove out an hour to get it was because of how insane that price was to me. So I think your price would be a little bit cheaper if I already had a license of Windows 10, but I don't. My current PC right now, I'm running on Windows 7. So since I don't have a current license of Windows 10, I think that extra $100 and some odd, I think that's gonna be the big price differential. Also just a case, but yeah, cases are a dime a dozen. I could buy a bare bones kit and get a case. All right, that was a nice substantial pull. Ugh. All right, to the boss. All right, there's the Dark Slash. Let me pop a Spell Reflect for that. Here's a Scream of the Dead, and we can just stay in it and Berserker Rage. And then get a Demo Shout. We're about to get another Dark Slash in a few seconds. Do I have Last Stand Up? I do have Last Stand Up. Let me just do that. Last Stand for this Dark Slash. Perfect. We're about to get the next Dark Slash. I'm going to pop a Spell Reflect as well. This Ignore Pain off the global. This is the way it should be, man. That's the way it was designed. The way it was tuned. And Ignore Pain was tuned 3 times in BfA, I believe. Like, they're retuning and overtuning an ability that's already been nerfed 3 or 4 times. Alright. Oh, hey, they make you not spawn inside the cages anymore. I haven't done Mythic Pluses in about a month. I did them last week on stream. I've only done them on stream, guys. I haven't actually gone through and grinded them out anymore. So if you superfy your weapon, that means you can beat your Prot warrior mage tower. Maybe. It means you're going to be taking a lot less damage while Concordance is up. So it's a little bit RNG based because of Concordance. It's not always going to be up, but your Concordance is going to be insane. Concordance gave me 80% versatility. So 80% versatility is an insane amount of versatility. And you see how these pulls are getting really big and out of hand? That's because if I get a versatility proc right now, I can just solo this. I survived that because I have shield wall, not because of anything else. Oh no, I went down. Really? Come on. Come on. All right. Yeah, that extra or this guy right here shouldn't have been pulled like that. But hey, Red Prot Warriors? No, not right now. You're doing a barbecue and crawfish boiled on San Diego Saturday? I can't. I'm gonna be setting up my new PC. So I went to go buy a new PC today, and I also ordered a few more parts, and I'm gonna be very busy setting all that up, downloading everything, getting my settings just right, setting up all my scenes for live streaming. It's gonna be a busy weekend, but in a very, very good way. But that sounds really cool, STL. Crawfish boil. Hey, they gave this guy a giant hammer. He never had that before, right? You can tell me how to buy an OEM Windows for 10 or 15 bucks? What? I am interested to find that out, Satbeer. How do you buy OEM Windows for 10 bucks? Are there people that buy corporate licenses and then just sell the individual ones? Because that's the only way I know of to get Windows licenses that cheap, is to get the corporate bulk discount. Ah, melee for 5 million. It shouldn't have killed me anyway. How's my... Oh, my healing is crazier than the healers. Why did this healer tell me to pull like crazy? I'm out healing him. Alright, we're good. We can survive this one right here. That's gonna barf on everyone. Alright, we're good. Cool. The Prot Warrior Mage Tower is pretty easy now, to be honest. You can easily overpower it. Nice. It's a DPS race. The tanking towers were a DPS race. That's all it was. Sorry for asking, but what is new with Prot Warriors? Shazam, the blocking system, has been reworked. So unfortunately, they took the realms down about 20 minutes ago, but I'm going to get back on them as soon as I can. But blocking and armor no longer share diminishing returns. So blocking is going to be better than in Legion, and critical blocking is going to be a little bit worse to start off with, but it will get better. Let me actually leave this up so you can see kind of the numbers that are going to be in BfA. Those are the numbers as far as Mythic 0 dungeons and then the first raid goes. So if you look at those, you're going to see that regular blocking in BfA is going to be way better than regular blocking in Legion, and then your critical blocking is just going to be as good as it is in Legion. So you'll eventually catch up with critical blocking, and then once you start crawling on over through the second, third, and fourth raid in the expansion, your blocking is going to get insane. Your blocking is going to become a huge mitigator. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they rework the way that blocking is going to be again to nerf it halfway through the expansion. That's how good things are going to be right now. So yeah, I'll leave those numbers up so that you can have a look and you can see how that armor is going to scale. As far as the formula, I'm working on a better formula. My formula right now tops off at 14,000 armor, which is more than enough if we talk about your regular armor, but once you start getting armor buffs into it, 14k is going to be overcome relatively quickly. So I need to work on a better formula. You'll post it in Discord? Yeah, for sure, Satbeer. That sounds insane. 10 or 15 bucks? I should just, I should talk to Brian. Brian hasn't joined the live stream yet, but I should talk to Brian. I think he sells licenses. You posted the link? For sure. I'm going to take a look at that. That license fee was the one thing that I was like, buying a pre-built with a solid CPU and motherboard and RAM combo will probably be a little bit cheaper, and then I can just upgrade the video card because of that purpose, or because of that. Alright, we have teaming, so I have that Mariner there. I don't want to pull the Mariner and the healers all at the same time, so I'm going to be a little bit careful. Someone might be pulling for me, but I hope not. I think we all learned our lesson with the last Mariner. Sure looks like it. Sure looks like it. Okay. Now, that was an interrupt going out there. I can pull these guys now, and I'll be fine. Let's also get an Eltharian's Fury for aggro, because uh-oh. Why? Why do we pull so many healers? We better be getting really, really, really good interrupts. Oh man, I think this group is overestimating what the weapons did for us. I think they're overestimating this whole concordance thing. Yeah, this is not going to end well. Oh man, this is hurting, guys. This hurts. I don't feel so well. Lantern of Darkness, Spell Reflect. Let's just start mitigating that magic damage. Oh man, everybody's getting beat up. Yeah, I'm out healing the healer. This is what I loved about Prot Warriors and Legion. Their healing was so crazy. I loved it. I loved it. Out healing a healer on the DPS meters as a tank never felt so good. Never felt so rewarding. Alright. Doing 1 million healing per second. Easy, easy peasy. Welcome back to Legion. I had not played Legion since last stream, and before that, probably like 3 or 4 weeks. I'll be back on the beta right now. As soon as the beta goes back up. If anyone can check for me, I would really appreciate it. You built yours a month ago. You find all this information off of YouTube. We're happy to share it. Nice. I don't mind do advertising on my stream, Satbeer. Self-promotion can get a little tiring sometimes. But if there's someone you watch, someone you enjoy, especially, I mean, they're probably not doing World of Warcraft content, you know, that's fine. I don't mind. I will also just go ahead and mention a few YouTubers. Like when people ask me about certain classes, there's certain people I know that create content that I really respect on those classes, and I'll let them know, hey, maybe you can watch this person. This person has really good takes on it. Like, for example, a big one has been, hey, Keggernaut, do you know anything about Brewmasters? And I'm like, yeah, go watch Keggernaut. I don't know about Brewmasters. If you want to watch like DKs, One Legion does a lot of DK stuff. Yeah, can we stop doing those big pulls without interrupts, guys? You don't want to go, Mr. Stark? Oh no, I don't feel so good. Oh hey. Right now the who is it? Somebody on the group. Oh, the mage said only pull one group, and I was like, I agree with you. I'm trying to only pull one group. Someone else is doing the pulls though. Oh man. At least threat isn't an issue in BfA. I mean in Legion. In BfA it is an issue. Not in Legion. Oh no! My spell reflect was not mitigating enough of that. I wasn't getting cleansed. Okay, we're good now. 99, 95, yeah, that's more than enough. We're good now. He doesn't do any WoW stuff, he just does tech reviews? Yeah, for sure. Channel name is Tech Deals. Tech Deals, I think I know who you're talking about. Tech Deals, it's a dude who used to do a lot of promotions with G2A, right? He used to do a lot of cross promotion with G2A. I don't know if he is a Middle Eastern guy, but he kind of looks like a Middle Eastern descent, right? Is that who we're talking about? Is that Tech Deals? I used to follow him. What about the block system is good? Confused at the moment? Jakub. So the block system does not share diminishing returns, and it mitigates outside of armor. So if you take a look at the picture above my head, you're gonna see how much block is going to be doing, and then how much your armor is going to be doing. So if you take it, like, let's say you're gonna take 1,000 points of damage. If you're gonna take 1,000 points of damage, it's going to be mitigated by your shield first. So let's say you have full Mythic dungeon gear. That means that 1,000 damage is gonna get reduced by 37 point something percent first, right? Yeah, 37. So that 1,000 damage is gonna jump down to in the 600 ranges, right? And then after that block mitigation, then it's going to hit your armor. So it's gonna go first to your block, and then it's gonna go towards your armor. So you need to overall it's gonna be less damage taken because of how blocking is working now. The fact that you take damage from it, the fact that you lower the damage first, you multiply the damage down by the block value first, and then it hits your armor. It's going to be doing a lot less damage to you. It doesn't share diminishing returns either. How come I can't charge? There it is. It took a while. He looks white to me. Okay, I might be thinking of someone else. Let's jump out of that. Really? I got hit by it? Man. My healer is gonna hate me. So yeah, the block system is kind of going to be, it's going to be better than it is in Legion. So in Legion, if you're going to take 1,000 points of damage, if you block, you first block that damage by 30%, and then you take the damage. If you critical block, you block that damage by 60%, and then you take the damage. In BfA, how much that block does is going to be determined by your actual shield. So, and your shield is going to be better and better. So regular blocking is getting a nice increase in BfA. So regular blocking is going to be stronger. Critical blocking is going to start off at a lower point. It's not going to be 60%. Critical blocking is going to start off in the 50s, and then it'll slowly scale up to the numbers that it is right now in Legion. So the numbers overall, they're going to be a little bit smoother. I thought I interrupted that. My pummel's on cooldown. So overall, the numbers are going to be a little bit smoother because your regular blocking gets better. And then as the raids come out, as the expansion goes on, you're actually going to be getting better and better. So like right now in Emerald Nightmare, all the way up to how we are right now in Antorus, regular block was 30%, critical block was 60%. There was no increasing it. In BfA, that blocking is going to scale with your shield. So by the time we're in the last raid in BfA, our regular blocks are probably going to be as good as critical blocks. Our regular blocks are probably going to be in the 60s. And then our critical blocks are probably going to be in the 70s, like mid 70s. So the new blocking system is putting Prot Warriors on the map in a very big way. We're going to become similar to how we are in Legion, the first raid tier, a little bit better. And then when we start talking about the further raid tiers, we're going to become God tier and insane. And no one's going to be able to touch our mitigation, especially physical mitigation. Magic mitigation, it's not that great. Ignore Pain definitely has its uses, and so does Spell Reflect. But, you know, overall, not that great. The physical mitigation, especially things that can be blocked, we're going to be the kings of blocking everything. Alright, we'll check if the beta is up right now. That was not a bad key. We could have gotten a +3 had we not done a few of those like really bad pulls. But hey, there was a lot of really big pulls. Tell that warrior that his heals are sick. No, there's no need. Oh, tell that warrior. Thank you. That's me. You can spell deflect, tentacle debuff. Oh, okay. I'm out, Satbeer. Thank you. Satbeer, I appreciate all the help, and I'm going to take a look at all the links that you sent in there. Let me open up the OEM Windows one for sure. And let me look up, before you leave, let me look up tech deals on YouTube. I think it's, let's see. Oh, no, this is a completely different person. Yeah, I don't know who this is. I don't know who I was thinking of. There's some dude I used to follow, but yeah, he was named Tech something. But Satbeer, thanks. I appreciate it. So yeah, Jakub, if you look at those numbers, that's what that means. Regular blocking is going to be a little bit better. You see it starts off at 35% and it scales all the way to 45. 45 is 15% higher than it is in Legion. And then critical block starts at 30%, scales all the way up to 61. 61 is a little bit better than it is in Legion. But this last number here is the end of the first raid. Oh, sorry, I keep bumping you guys. The end of the first raid. So what that means is that by the end of the second, third, and fourth raid, those numbers are going to be a lot better. Not a crazy amount better. We're not talking about we're going to get to 80, 90, 100%. Because they do hit diminishing returns. So yeah, that's those new numbers. Very, very good. Alright, let's go ahead and drop the group. And let's sell our artifact power because we no longer need to worry about that. And then I'll try to launch beta. Please, beta, come back. Friday, you did a reset in the middle of the stream. Today, you did a reset in the middle of the stream. Why you do this to me? Oh, okay. I need to initialize the download again. 1 second, guys. I really want to run another Mythic Plus. We got up to the last boss on a +2 in the beta, and then it booted us out. And Mehmet, How you doing, man? I don't think I said hi as soon as you joined in. Alright, so the beta is downloading 600 more megs. Should go through in about a minute or two. So maybe Proud Warriors won't suck. Now, they don't, Ian. They don't. They still feel a little weird with Ignore Pain. I'm not going to lie to you. Ignore Pain on the global still feels weird. It's like, it's a really bad choice to make. It's a really bad choice to make. If they want to keep Ignore Pain on the global, they should also make it do something offensively. Like, if I Ignore Pain and it's on the global, then maybe when I hit Ignore Pain, I also Thunderclap at the same time to do a little bit of AoE threat as well. But if they're gonna take it off the global and they keep it exactly how it is, I don't mind the current iteration of Ignore Pain as long as it's off of the global. But if they want to force that choice being on the global, it should also allow us to generate a little bit of threat while we press it, because having Ignore Pain be a defensive that is part of our kit that we have to use every 5 or 10 seconds to stay alive, and it eats up a global in a world where globals are very important, it feels really, really bad if all it does is provide only defensive capabilities. So if they want to keep it on the global, it needs to do something else. If not, just take it off the global. You're really going to miss Dalaran? Jeremy, that makes one of us. That makes one of us. Dalaran is cool because it's small and it keeps everything nice and compact. But, you know, giant city in the sky. I miss the feel of having an actual town out in the middle of somewhere. And so, like, Zoldazar, I think looks really cool. Kultiras looks confusing as all hell. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Kultiras looks really confusing. And I've done a little bit of surfing around Kultiras. But Zoldazar is a little more straightforward. New block system, any place you can read about it. Steven, I'm going to do an in-depth video about it tomorrow. But if you want the quick lowdown, right above my head is the new block system values in terms of if you run normal, heroic, mythic, dungeon, or the raids. Block and armor no longer share diminishing returns. So the same formula I was using for armor is the same formula they're using for block, but blocking in BfA now works like it does in Legion. So when you take damage, let's say there's 1,000 damage coming in, it's first going to calculate if you did a block or not. If you did block and you're normal dungeon geared, you're going to reduce the incoming damage by 35%, and then the rest of that damage, whatever is left over, is going to go to you and then be mitigated by your armor and anything else you have up. So first comes block and then comes your regular mitigation as you start taking that damage. So yeah, the old BfA system was blocking was just added armor on top of your regular armor, and it shared diminishing returns, so it kind of felt bad. But now it's two different systems, just like it is in Legion, and your block is going to be scaling because your block is determined by your shield. So if you see here the block, it goes up because there's different item levels of shield. So it's a very, very, very big buff to blocking. Very big buff to blocking. What's up, Max? How you doing, my friend? Let me see if the beta is back up so that I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. Come on, beta. Come back up. Don't do this to me. Every time I want to stream the beta right now. Yeah, no problem, Steven. Tomorrow I'll do a more in-depth video about it if you want to tune back in tomorrow. I'll be crunching more numbers, giving you guys a resource as well. So, Steven, I have also been working on this Excel sheet, and I'm working on making it more workable to you guys. So if you guys see this, that's like more of the references I have for you guys, kind of like making everything nice and putting that. So I need to simplify a lot of this Excel sheet, and I'm going to give you guys a copy of that Excel sheet. The beta is not up. I'm going to give you guys a copy of that Excel sheet, but I need to work the rest of my numbers in and make it easy for you guys to input. What I ideally want you guys to do is just to go in there, be able to type in your armor value and your shield block value, and it'll just spit out how much mitigation you're going to be doing. So that's the hope with that spreadsheet. Mastery will be very important stat, more so than haste. I still think haste is going to be better because remember, if you increase your haste, you increase your uptime on your active mitigation. Your active mitigation is shield block, right? So by increasing your uptime on shield block, you increase the amount of blocks you have. Anytime you have shield block up, you are blocking 100% of abilities coming in that are able to be blocked. So I think haste is still going to be the most important thing. The most important thing is landing the block. After that, it's very important to increase your block as well. So increasing your chances of getting that critical block are very important. That's via mastery. And then while your shield block is down, that's when your mastery kicks in as well by increasing that block chance. So I think haste is going to be the most important still because it's going to guarantee those blocks. So I think it's going to be similar to it is in Legion. Haste mastery. It's going to be the builds. Alright, Steven. Is Prot Warrior going to even be a thing for the expansion? Yes, Death Aggro. Prot Warriors are looking good now. With a new build that came out on Friday, Prot Warriors are looking real good. What's up, Chaos? Alright, let's do another dungeon. I don't want to do a 17 seat. What was that last one we did? A plus 18? Plus 19 Speedy Vault. I don't know what Speedy necessarily means to them, but let's try. Let's try a 19. Now that we have these new weapons. Knocking things out. How are you doing, Chaos? Oh, I need to move to that. Guys, I'm also really excited for the new PC build this weekend. So I can finally start recording at 1080p for you guys. That's gonna be a big jump up. And also streaming should be a little bit easier to catch up with chat. And streaming at higher qualities. So that should be a lot better. Right now I stream at 720p and my WoW is windowed. Let me see if I can show you guys. Okay. Let's do this. And then let's do... No, not that. Let me see if I can show you guys what I see. Aha. So, this is what I see right now. Oh, you guys are going to infinity. Don't go to infinity. Okay, this is what I see right now. So you guys see over on the right hand side, I keep track of the stream health. This bar, I keep track of this. Here's chat. And then everything else I'm running right now. So that's going to be changing as of next week. So I'm very excited for that. That's not what I want. Sorry, guys. Alright. We're good. We're good now. How am I still this pumped for BfA? Because there was a new build on Friday, Max. And Warriors and Paladins got a huge buff. Blocking got an insane buff. We just did a Moss Souls. I don't want to do Moss Souls right now. Or again. But yeah, blocking got an insane... Oh, they want a Blood Decay. Blocking got an insane buff. So I'm excited now. I was really bummed out that Warriors were going to be in such a bad place, but they slowly got worked on. They slowly got better. And now, with this new blocking system, it's insane, man. It's insane. You can't wait till I reach my last evolution, and it's something you see in VR. Actually, the new PC will be VR ready. My current PC is not VR ready. There is no way in hell that this computer can run VR. But the new one's going to be VR ready. And then we're going to play WoW with Beat Saber at the same time. So it'll have a WoW backdrop, and then my abilities will start flying at me like in Beat Saber, and I'll have to smash the abilities in Beat Saber that I want to use on each global. So I'm going to be playing Beat Saber World of Warcraft, and it's going to be awesome. Don't forget your invis pots. Yeah, I've got a few here. Oh, you guys can't see them because my face is covering them. Right there, right above the sub area. I've got drums, invis, and hammer. Let's go to Blackroot Hold. Sorry guys, I'm zoning out. Do you already and can tell us the shield should we be aiming for and who to drop it? Myadros, the good thing is every shield, the item level determines how much armor, block value, strength, and stamina are on a shield. The secondary stats do change depending on where you're going to get that shield, but the primary stats, the stats that are most important to you, armor, block value, and strength, all of those are determined by item level. So all of the heroic shields are going to have the same armor, block value, strength, stamina. It's only going to be the secondary stats. If you want the absolute best shield, you're going to want to go to Untitled. So that's why when I first run Mythic Zeros for you guys to see, I run Untitled because I have a lot of practice in Untitled, and the haste mastery shield drops from there. So if you want to farm it out, Untitled has a haste mastery shield. They changed the gear drop percentage for Mythic Plus. Somebody here got a 970 and somebody else got a 975. Huh. Trade in the keyboard for a dance mat controller. Guys, we're going all in. I'm going to become the Star Wars kid. Do I think the Prot Warriors with this block buff can be as good as Druid or Demon Hunter on high keys in beta? Jakub, the only thing that's really going to hold us back now, Maiz Gaming, thanks for stopping by and thanks for subscribing. I really appreciate it. The only thing that's going to stop us in Mythic Plus right now is the threat changes and the fact that we don't have the toolkit to really keep up with as much threat as everyone else. So when you talk about Demon Hunters and you talk about Druids, they go over there, they thrash, they swipe, they maintain bleeds, they do all sorts of things. Druids are not that great at maintaining threat actually, but Demon Hunters have Immo Aura, they have their leap ability, I always forget, Fell Crash, and then they have their Sigil of Flame, which applies if you're running that talent point. They have Soul Cleave, they have Spirit Bomb, and they do insane amounts of damage. So Demon Hunters are going to be really, really good for Mythic Pluses. Yeah, the one thing that's really going to hold back Warriors now in Mythic Plus is going to be that threat generation. So if you have a group that you run with, and they know that they have to wait 3 seconds before popping all their cooldowns, then you'll be fine. But if you run pugs all the time, people pop all their cooldowns, run in, start AoEing everything, you're going to get frustrated by the threat changes. But that doesn't mean that Warriors are going to be bad. Warriors are going to be in a very, very good place, especially with the new blocking. They're going to be doing really good. Why am I in combat? Oh, PvP, I assume. So Prot Warriors are going to be good again, huh? Should you dust it off and cure it? I think so. Especially if you raid Death Aggro. For raids, we're going to be really good. Because one-on-one with bosses, we don't have threat issues. And then one-on-one with bosses, our blocking is going to be insane. So when we talk about big mechanics, like if you played your Prot Warrior through Antorus, then you know when that Foe Breaker was going to hit you. You pop Neltharion's Fury, it didn't hit you. It hit you for like 1 million. Didn't even pop your Ignore Pain. So blocking is going to be really good for those bosses that have mechanics like that. For sure, Myadros. No problem. Say that again about the drop chance thing. No, somebody in my chat said, somebody in this group said that Mythic Plus gear drop percentages got better in terms of Titan Forging and War Forging because in his last run he got a 970 and someone else got a 975, but that isn't confirmed by anyone. It's a random person in my group that said it, but I don't know. I don't know if that's true. I haven't been running Mythic Pluses on live. You do? Yeah, so Death Aggro. So that blocking is going to get really, really insane. During the first raid, it's going to be a normal amount. When you're doing Old Deer, blocking is going to be normal. You're going to be like, what is this guy talking about? This isn't that crazy. Once we start going to the second raid, 3rd raid, 4th raid, you're going to be like, my shield is a god. I don't even need to do anything. For a Prot warrior, if I put my shield on the ground and I hide behind it and I taunt the boss and I'm like, hey, hit me, and then I hide behind my shield, I don't take damage. So it's going to be scaling really, really well. Let me get my food buff going. You're leveling Priest, Pally, Warrior, Druid first in BfA? Max. Most people choose one thing to level up first. You choose 4. Max, I'm honestly surprised with how many alts you have. You're not a multi-boxer. You're crazy, man. You're on another level, Max. Get on my level? Dude, I don't think I can. Look, my artifact weapon is going Super Saiyan, and I still can't keep up with you, Max. You've got all sorts of crazy leveling going in you. Max, are you leveling up any Horde? Because I'm going to be leveling up and doing a lot of dungeon crawling when BfA comes out. And since I want to spam dungeons, at certain points I might need healers. I might need DPSers. One of the people here, I think, is AFK. You'll think you'll enjoy tanking on Warrior this expansion? Hey, if they take Ignore Pain off of the global, I am going to love it. I'm going to love it. Let me launch the beta right now. We'll wait for this last person to run into this Mythic plus key. I believe it's like a plus 18, plus 17. I forget. This is why. So yesterday, I'm part of the Raider.io Discord community as well. So yesterday I got a notification that Raider.io reset their Mythic Plus ranks. This is why you can push this plus 19 and plus 20 with pugs. That's cool. Not up? Yeah, I just checked, Matney. Thank you, though. I appreciate it, Matney. Messing me up, man. Messing me up. You'll be leveling your Orc Warrior or your Druid. Nice. You can even tank for me, Max. I'll go arms. The tuning phase isn't done yet, but have I experienced any standout rep players? Rep seems like it took a big hit in BfA. Meatball, I have not experienced any standout rep players. I've had a few rep players in my groups. They're normally performing fine. In terms of like DPS meters, I see them up there, but I haven't had anyone be like killing it. One thing that I do like about Ret is they do good DPS, but they also don't pull aggro on me all the time. Certain classes generate different threat even though they're outputting the same amount of damage, and I think it's because they're a little bit more crit heavy or something like that. So something like an Arms Warrior or a Fury Warrior jumping in and just hitting all the things does an insane amount of threat that a Ret Paladin just does not do. So I appreciate Ret Paladins for not pulling off of me. I'll tell you that right off the bat. What is the new block system, K-Dog? Not up, bro. Waiting with bells on. Thank you. Why does Blizzard hate Feral? Because they're still waiting for Soda Poppin to come back and become a class designer. They're like, Soda Poppin, when you become a class designer for Feral, we're just going to do all the things. Until then, we're just going to, like, kill the class. I don't play Feral, so I don't know. K-Dog, the new block system. Let me show you this. So the new block system doesn't have diminishing returns like it did in previous builds of the beta. So the new block system is a mix of the current block system in Legion and the old block system in BfA. So if you look here, depending on what gear you have, see how this says block up here? So depending on what gear and what shield you have, your block is determined by the block value of your shield. So a regular block, if you are doing heroic dungeons, is going to do 35% mitigation. So that 1000 damage comes in, you block 35% of it, and then you get a new total value, then that new total value goes towards your armor. So if you're doing a heroic dungeon, then that is going to get 45% reduced, right? So by the end of the first mythic raid, your regular blocks are going to be doing 45% mitigation. So we're going to start off with Legion numbers, right? We're going to start off with 30 and 60% as block and crit block. A little bit different. You know, crit block is going to start off at 50%. But by the end of the first raid, I'm used to saying tier, so I'm sorry if I say tier. By the end of the first raid, your regular block is going to be crazy. Your regular block is going to be at 45% mitigation. And then your critical block is going to be back to Legion numbers, 61%. So blocking is going to scale throughout the expansion. So what this means is that by the end of the second, third, and fourth raid that they come out with, your regular blocking is going to be almost as good as critical blocking was in Legion. And then your critical blocking is going to hit like those 70% because you're going to start hitting really, really high-end diminishing returns. So I honestly feel like blocking is going to get nerfed halfway throughout BfA, but we'll see what they do with that. But the blocking system is kind of a bit of a hybrid between Legion and what they were first proposing in BfA. The diminishing returns are only shared between each system. So armor has diminishing returns within itself. Blocking has diminishing returns within itself. They no longer share any DRs. So that is the new blocking system. I'm going to do a more of an in-depth look at it tomorrow if you want to come back for an edited video where I put out the things like precisely and like, you know, it's probably going to be like a 5 to 7 minute video where I'll go over things in a much better way. I'm also preparing an Excel sheet that you guys can use to kind of look at numbers. Block is greater than crit block is greater than armor, I believe. Only because crit block doesn't happen that often. If you have really good haste and you can have really good uptime on your shield block, you're gonna get a lot more out of crit block. You're just gonna get insane amounts. Thank you for the subscription. I don't, unfortunately, speak Cyrillic, so I can't pronounce your name. So yeah, I think for sure block is going to be better than crit block, greater than armor. If you can get to really high haste amounts, then that block and crit block is going to get even better. Why don't I summon the Cho to my group? I just realized that they're outside saying we need one more. But there was one person that just went offline right now too. Block will just get nerfed then, K-Dog. I agree. Because then warriors will be decent and we can't allow that. Well, Ignore Pain is still on the global, K-Dog. Waiting on server, you need Mythic Plus? Oh, man. I'm waiting on that server too. So, K-Dog, Ignore Pain is still on the global. Which is one of those things that's like, why? Why is this still a thing? I think the biggest piece of feedback that Blizzard has gotten from a lot of warriors is, let's take Ignore Pain off the global. This feels bad. Can we please take Ignore Pain off the global? And then they're like, yeah, we're listening to feedback. And they still haven't. I think it's a matter of time before they do. I have a firm belief that they're going to, because Blizzard doesn't want Ignore Pain for warriors, but they don't have a better solution. Blizzard tried to remove Ignore Pain. They tried to get rid of things. They nerfed it. First they changed it, and then they got rid of it, and then they nerfed it to the ground, and then they buffed it recently. They don't know what they want with Ignore Pain. So I'm pretty sure they're just going to be like, okay, fine, have Ignore Pain back how it is right now. It's part of your core kit. In order for you to even stay alive, you need it. Fine, have it all back. And maybe halfway through the expansion, they're going to be like, removing Ignore Pain, you know, adding this, adding that. You know, I think they're going to find something else to do. Why are we inviting this guy who's gone? He's offline. You meant that when you block, you have a chance to critical block, and then you mitigate with armor, and then you take that damage. Yes. Yes. So let's say you're taking 1,000 points of damage, and you get a successful block on that 1,000 points of damage. If you have a 30% block and then 50% armor reduction, that means that 1,000 damage at 30% block is going to turn into 700 damage, and then that 700 damage goes to your armor. And since you have 50% reduction, that 700 is going to go down to 350. So one blocked ability went from 1,000 to 350. by having those 2 stages. So those 2 stages make blocks really, really good. And I think it's important that they change the system to be back like that in BfA. They're still trying to summon the last person. They're re-inviting someone else. Block, crit block, armor damage taken. Right. Well, block and crit block are the same step. So when you take that damage in, the system determines whether you block or crit block it, and then it goes to armor and damage taken. But then there's also an in-between step. In between armor and blocking, Mehmet, there's also cooldowns. So if I have demoralizing shout up, if I have shield wall, the new punish talent, that step is in between there. But yes, it's time for a dev talk. I think I agree. I think the last Q&A, it didn't. I don't understand the purpose. The last Q&A was just the same information we've already known. BfA's coming, predetermined rewards for PvP, some Warfront stuff. Like it was a lot of the information that we knew. It wasn't too many big questions about design. All right, let's get the last summon in. Come on. All right, time to start this Mythic Plusky. Ignore Pain, which is a shield HP buff mechanic, is so difficult to balance. So blocking is ultimately a percentage reduction in damage. Yes. Blocking is a % reduction in damage taken that scales according to how good your shield is. But I agree that Ignore Pain is a mechanic that's difficult to balance because it's a bubble on a tank. A tank that can self-bubble, if they can self-bubble too much or too often, they don't have a need for a healer. So yeah, I agree that, you know, the whole Ignore Pain thing, it's a little difficult to kind of go around. So I know why Blizzard wanted to remove Ignore Pain as a mechanic. Unfortunately, they didn't find the correct response. So since they couldn't find the correct response, I think they should just leave the kit how it was, which is Ignore Pain off the global. Because allowing us our kit that we had in Legion, but in a nerfed manner, it feels counterintuitive. They didn't find a better solution. We can all agree that they didn't. They have like another, maybe like 4 or 5, like going into the first raid, give us what we already had. And then while that first raid is out, redesign Prot Warriors in that like 3-month period that first raid is going to be out. Redesign that Prot Warrior when that second raid is going to go up. Give us that better solution. So, I think so. You're still seriously considering making BfA part-time and Classic your main focus? Depending on when Classic comes out, I don't see why not. Alright, we're just going to go ahead and invis past this. What's up, Pablo? How you doing, my friend? Alright, let's go ahead and pop an invis. What? What? I just died. Okay. That was not my invis potion, guys. That's what happened. I did the wrong thing. I'm asking them if they can get a res. Okay. Are druids still HP tanks where they can afford to eat damage with normal armor? Guys, that was my bad. Druids are still HP tanks where they can afford to eat damage with normal armor and HP. Yes, that's how they are. Their healing took a bit of a tumble, and their some of their kit definitely took a bit of a tumble. Oh, they want me to do a death run for sure. Okay. Pleb tank grunt. Yeah, I I messed up. Could have sworn that was my invis pot. Was not. But yeah, HP potion. I mean, HP tanks. You know, Guardian Druids are still that. Their healing did get a little bit nerfed, so unfortunately, their healing and I think the biggest fallback right now on a Guardian Druid is their threat generation. It's not that good. Their threat generation is very weak, so you got to be careful if you're playing a Guardian Druid. If you're playing a Guardian Druid, and you're very used to just holding threat all the time and just kind of running in and doing your own thing in a boss fight, it's not going to be like that anymore. You're really going to have to work for that threat in terms of AoE. You have a lot of AoE abilities, so you have a lot of things that kind of just come naturally, but you're going to need to fight that. Pleb tank scrub tier, it's very true. It's very true. I don't remember all of Legion, guys. I've been playing BfA too much. I have Max, I feel like you. I think I have 5 max characters in BfA right now. And I'm going to be working on Brewmaster this week or next week. So, you know, I'm definitely going to have a lot of BfA practice before it even comes out. A lot of alts. Alright, Concordance is up right now, so we should actually just be able to nuke all this. Look at this. Nice. Get that done. What do I think about DK tanks? Will they be good in Mythic Plus and Raids? Shazam. Blood DKs, in my opinion, are going to be the best Mythic Plus tank again, because they just have a lot of utility. Every tank got their magic mitigation removed, right? Except for like Warriors got to keep Spell Reflect, but Spell Reflect is now 15% for Warriors in BfA. And then DKs got to keep their magic mitigation with AMS. Blood DKs also have a ranged interrupt. Blood DKs also have a grip for interrupt. They also have Gorfine's Grasp for an interrupt. They also have Asphyxiate for a stun that can also work for an interrupt if it's a channel effect. So Blood DKs have so much utility. They have insane amounts of utility. So yeah, I think Blood DKs are going to be the best Mythic Plus tank. And then as far as Raid, I think they're going to be number 2 or number 3, depending on what type of content we're talking about. If we're talking about progression raiding, I think Brewmasters are going to be the best. I don't think you can beat Stagger on progression. Stagger offers so much when we're talking about progression raiding, and then when we talk about farming, I think Guardian Druid is still going to be the best for farming content in terms of raiding, because they're going to offer really strong cooldowns and strong self heals. I did not get a cleanse at any point during that. When is 3 Sunders becoming a Helmite and Tauren? Not going to happen. I'm going to maintain. I was very, very much looking forward to the High Mountain Taurens. And But the fact that it's still on the global cooldown. Their charge is still on the global. Just, I thought they were taking all the ratios off the global. So, yeah, that kind of feels bad. So I'll keep my undead. Oh man, everybody's fighting. There's Azurite gear that increases frenzy regen by 1 second after a mangle. Nilo gets regens up to 30 seconds long. I thought that they said that Azurite traits weren't going to stack up in terms of increasing. In the latest build, I think somebody tweeted at after the Q&A, somebody tweeted at the devs, and I thought they had said that the Azurite traits that extend durations aren't going to stack up together. But that could be a change that wasn't, applied to Frenzied Regen, or that just hasn't gone live, or maybe I'm remembering incorrectly. But I thought they had said that they weren't going to be doing that the Azurite traits weren't going to be stacking up in that way. Why? Really? I'm popping all sorts of things. Alright, we gotta slow it down. I thought we were gonna be able to handle it. My healing... Oh. That's why. 500k. Alright, we'll slow it down. Vengeance still OP? Yes, it is, my friend. In Legion, it's still really nice, but in BfA, I don't like Vengeance. I really don't. It doesn't provide as much as it probably should. Oh man. So Devin, I didn't know that the traits were still stacking. I need to jump over. I have a few of the traits available on my warrior as far as some of those things that stack. So I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to give it a shot. As soon as the BfA servers go live, Matney is in here, and I'm sure Matney will let me know when the servers are live. He's waiting with bells on for those servers to come back up. And when they do, I'll try some of the warrior ones. Every time you thunderclap, you get a extension on your demo shout. So I should have three of the pieces that have that. And then once I can get those in, yeah, we're not getting enough stuns for stuff like knife dance. So yeah, once we can get those in, I'll be able to see how long I can extend my demo shout. Because if you pop Avatar and you have the talent point for it, you'll be able to thunderclap every 3 seconds. Alright. You don't know what the time is stacking. He just pops Incarn and spams Mangle. Oh yeah, because Incarn gives your Mangle a one and just a global cooldown. So he's not stacking Azerite traits. He's just, you know, using Incarn to his best of his abilities. Okay, that makes sense. I thought he was stacking 3 Azerite traits and then just doing regular Mangle. But with the Incarn Mangle being 1 global and it extending it by 1 second, that makes a lot of sense. Please not a nerf to IP like they did early Emerald Nightmare. I hope not. Well, right now in BfA, IP is already super nerfed. Being on the global makes it just... Oh man, it's so weird to use. The fact that it's on the global makes it so weird to use. You just try to like use it, but you can't thunderclap, you can't revenge while you use it, you can't shield slam while you use it. I keep getting stunned by this damn thing. Uh-oh. So since you can't do any of that, it feels bad using Ignore Pain. It's such a shell of what it was at one point. I also don't like the fact that there's no more Warbringer when BfA is going to launch. Warbringer was one of the better talent points in my opinion that made Prot Warriors viable for Mythic Plus. A non-diminishing return AoE stun that actually, you know, took a considerable amount of skill to use. You have to know when to run out, run back in. You know, it definitely wasn't just an easy button press, but Warbringer is completely gone. They gave us Devastator instead, but Devastator shares DRs. Yeah, that whole Incarn Mangle Frenzied Regen is going to be really, really good. The only bad part is you can't really do that with an AoE pack and do that to try to like hold aggro, because that's really more for raid bosses. Where's my healer? Am I LOSing my healer? I am LOSing my healer. Here we go. Are tanks still so OP in World PvP? No, they're not, Shazam. I tried doing the war mode in BfA. I was getting beat up so badly. So no, not OP anymore. Let me target the scout here. There's a knife dance. Let me go ahead and stun that. Hopefully we don't... Oh, this other scout is over here doing things that I don't like. So hopefully we don't have another knife dance going out right now. I have my charge on 2 more seconds. Okay, now another knife charge can go. There it is, knife dance. Cool. Get that stun going. The other scout just went down, so we're good. I think a lot of groups are getting very overconfident when the pulls are first starting because of the whole super powerful artifact weapons. But it's not. It's a crazy amount when you get all the procs, but when you don't have the procs, not as crazy. DPS is definitely a lot better. Not just viable, but Warbringer was fun to use. Warbringer was very fun to use. Yes, it was extremely viable. It made us really good for Mythic Pluses. I think for stuff like the MDI, Warbringer had definitely a spot. Unfortunately, Prot Warriors as a whole didn't have as much utility as a Blood DK. But I think the only reason that Prot Warriors were, or one of the big reasons why Prot Warriors were competitive in Mythic Plus was Warbringer. I think that was one of the big ones. Why is my group mad now? My group keeps getting mad at me. Because I'm kiting? How is my healer on mana? He's good. 50%. Oh, they wanted a timer. Whoops. Alright, where is the deeps, guys? Let's see. Dark Rush. Let's go ahead and pop Spell Reflect. Here it is. Easy. Brutal Glaive. Let's pop our active mitigation right now for that Vengeful Shear. Is my DBM not up? My DBM isn't up. Oh, I haven't updated DBM in a very long time. That could have a lot to do with it. Let's pick up this guy right here. And then let's go over here. Let's get the stun off and then start doing interrupts. Waste your time casting. Oh, we're going to have the Bone Breaking Strike. Waste your time casting. There's the interrupt. Oh, the Boomkin got the interrupt right before I did. Damn it, we both did it. Alright, let me get Warbringer. Perfect. Oh, they both died at the same time. My groups are always mad. It's true. That's the pug life you live, you know. And right now they told me to do a super pull again, but that didn't go over too well. The few times that they've done big pulls. Alright, they want a super pull. Alright, how's that for a super pull? Let's get a big AoE stun going. They're about to do stuff. Let's get another AoE stun going. And then let's do a little bit of kiting. Oh, hey! Alright. I hope that big AoE pull is enough. Oh, right into these guys. Oh, man. This is too much, guys. This is insane. Although we're going to be able to do it just fine. Let's get an AoE stun going there. And then we've got the Blade Lords in here. Let's also just get an AoE stun. I saw Brutal Assault is about to go out. Pop a few defensives. I consider Battlecry a defensive with a new tier set bonus because of the amount of rage it gives you. Alright, cool. Pull the whole room. Oh, man. You must really want to see a Rip Key. No, I don't want to pull with those guys, too. Although the group probably does. I'd rather not. We do need to pull this room. And somebody ran close enough to pull it. And, oh, hey, we pulled the Blade Lords. Cool. I need to pop my cooldown. I need to pop Shield Wall. Because I was not ready for those Brutal Assaults. Alright, we should be okay now. We're going to get another Brutal Assault here. Where is it? There it is. Let's get a stun. And then we can do the rest of this pull. You see, ignore pain off of the global is what feels right to eat your rage. They've also, so as far as like total BfA changes, they've nerfed threat generation, increased threat consumption, and then put IP on the global. It's just a lot of little things. A lot of little things. Hashtag take IP off the global. Get my stun off. Get my stun off. No, it didn't matter. Too close. Oh! That guy ran right into it. Was he bubbled? The paladin? Because he ran right into the boulder. The druid got hit by it. Alright. We might need this trash since we did do a skip at first. So while the last person gets here, I'll just try to do a little bit of damage here. Hopefully someone helps. Because we can kill these guys right now. And we're probably going to need the percentage. The group is mad that I'm attacking these guys. Alright, so the guy's here. Cool. Let's just go. Oh, man. Look at this Legion threat. Legion threat. So nice. Just pick up all the things. Alright, we should be getting a sick bats really, really soon here. So let me try to do as much damage to these pups as possible before the sick bats. Alright. We got pushed back onto here. I can knock out this Dominator. Those fell bats are jumping over to people right now. There it is. A rogue is getting hit. Oh, rogue is going down. Rogue is going down. I'm also going to go down pretty soon. Look at all this frenzy on these guys. Yeah, rogue got nuked by the bats. And we need to take down this last Dominator before I move on. Alright, there it is. Done. Let me also get that going. A little bit of slow, a little bit of extra threat. Perfect. How is the Blood Elf new racial? Is it as good as the AoE silence? It is not as good as the AoE silence, but it's not bad. So the new Blood Elf racial does the whole removing magic effects, and in the new dungeons, they basically designed the new dungeons knowing that they were going to make this change, because in the new dungeons, there's at least like 1 or 2 pulls per dungeon that need a magic effect removed. There's like 1 or 2 pulls per dungeon that have like a bubble, they have a frenzy, they have something that can be removed by that new Blood Elf racial. So in Legion, we don't see it that much. In Legion, it's more of an afterthought, and interrupting is definitely a lot better. But in terms of the new Blood Elf racial, they designed the new dungeons with it in mind. They designed the new dungeons knowing, hey, we have someone that a large percentage of people play. Oh, hey. They wanted me to do a pull timer, but Boomkin pulled for me, so not much of a pull timer I can do there. There's a pack of skeletons in Underrot that has a bubble for some reason. Yes, so that pack of skeletons, there's actually 2 of them. There's 2 of them back to back depending on how you pull. And those guys have a very substantial bubble, and they also do a ton of damage, so the quicker you can get them down, the better. And then there's a few people who, different things, they kind of like enrage and do stuff like that. They buff themselves. So the new Blood Elf racial, things are designed around it. Things are designed with it in mind, and it's actually pretty damn good. It's not as good as an interrupt AoE silence, but yeah, AoE silence was a little crazy. There's also some mobs in Freehold that Blood Elves can purge. Yeah, they're basically doing things with the new Blood Elf racial in mind. So don't worry about feeling too weak with that. They're gonna design it with different places in mind of usage. Oh, my healer is completely Damn, shield block seems to be so strong right now, and it's only gonna get stronger. In BfA, it's getting stronger. Why? My healer has like 4% mana. I definitely don't want to be pulling right now, but all right, let's do it. I can do all the healing I need, right? I got this healing. Next vid will be if Sunder's making a group mad showing the chat. That happens so often. People are always mad at the tank, and the people are going to get mad at the tank if you pull a little too fast or a little too slow. If some groups don't use timers because people don't use potions, some groups do. Some groups have different cooldowns that they want to get ready and lined up. Some groups want you to wait 30 seconds before you pull a boss because their DPS cooldown is 30 seconds away. Every group is always going to get mad at how you pull or how you place it. Maybe they're used to their guild tank placing these two groups right there where I was and not combining all of these pulls like this. So yeah, every group will always get mad at the tank for some odd reason because they're used to playing a certain way, and you know, not used to however hell. Oh no, I'm gonna go down. Yeah, I got that damn texture didn't project well on top of that damn rug. Oh man, that wipe is on me, guys. It's in my hands. We still got what? Oh, we've got 6 minutes. We're good. But yeah, people will always get upset at the tank. Whoops. They said don't release. I figured they were up there. Guess not. Alright, let's do this pull here. We don't have to do the whole thing, but we can do these two groups very easily. And then the rogue isn't releasing. The rogue said, I'm waiting for a res, so hey, we'll do that. It almost looks like a cooldown every time you use shield block. You use so little damage. Gives me hopes. Yes, so in Antorus, I think Prot warriors were the strongest they ever were in all of the expansion because they generate and eat so much rage. It's insane. It's insane. I use Demo Shout like every 30 seconds, and then my shield wall has like a 2-minute cooldown. My last stand is probably like a 1-minute cooldown. Like I can use cooldowns. I can cycle through them very easily. And then when we talk about something like Argus and taking sites, I think I was able to take 14 site stacks in heroic by just rotating cooldown slowly. So yeah, this is it's very, very cool the way that Prot warriors play right now. And I realize that it's the tier set is what's making this, right? Every time I pop Recklessness or Battle Cry as it's called in Live and Legion, unlike in BfA where it's going to be changed, that generates a lot of rage because I can spam shield block. So I have really good uptime on everything because I'm generating and eating so much damn rage. It's insane. It's insane. But that's not how Prot warriors were designed to play. That's just how they played in the last tier. That's also why my healing in Antorus was about 1 million. I tried to do a DBM pull, but apparently my DBM is off. Whatever. I tried to do a slash pull, but yeah, I forgot I don't have DBM on right now. So there's one of my cooldowns. Dark Slash should be coming up soon. The second one, there it is. There's the second one. Let me get my armor trinket up. At this point, let me maximize the amount of rage. Oh man, you used to be able to do things. Oh man, they're mad at me that I didn't DBM pull. I'm sorry guys, my DBM's not working. Don't get mad at me. Alright, so when this Shadow Bolt goes out, there it is. Spell Reflect, and we're good. This is how you win. Stinging Swarm going out on the Rogue. There it is. Let's just knock it out. Perfect. How does a new block work? Zacchaeus, the new block, the amount of block that you do is determined by your shield. Also, the new block is more like the Legion block. So in Legion, a regular block does 30% and a critical block does 60%. So in BfA currently, they were having block value stack on top of armor. But that's not the case anymore. It kind of works like an in-between Legion and what the BfA system used to be, right? So what happens is your shield has a certain block value. That block value determines how good your block is going to be. So if you start doing normal dungeons, that block value is going to be a little bit above 30% for a normal block, and then a little bit above 50% for a critical block. So when everything first comes out, when BfA first comes out, you are going to... When BfA first comes out, you are going to be doing better regular blocking and slightly worse critical blocking. As you progress and get more geared up, your critical blocking will go up above 60%. So if you're a Mythic Raider, by the time you're done Mythic raiding the first raid, you're going to be critical blocking 61% damage. So your critical block is going to be a lot better. And then your I'll have it right here. And then your regular blocking is going to turn into 45%. So your blocking, if you see here, normal dungeon, heroic dungeon, mythic dungeon, normal raid, heroic raid, mythic raid. This is the first raid tier. Your regular block is going to start going up a lot. And your normal block is going to start scaling up really, really fast and really, really well. Your critical block is also scaling, not as fast though. Between normal dungeon and mythic raid of first tier, you're going to have an 11% difference. So it's still scaling up. You're going to hit diminishing returns a lot faster on that critical block. And then, so let's say you're taking in 1,000 points of damage. That 1,000 points of damage is kind of like in Legion right now. So it goes through your block first. So that 1,000 points of damage gets mitigated, let's say a normal raid, 40%. That 1,000 points of damage gets mitigated 40%. It becomes 600 damage. That 600 damage then goes to your armor. And then, like if you're running that normal raid gear, your armor does almost 50%. So then that 600 damage gets mitigated 50%, and you take 300 damage. So instead of 1,000 damage, you regular blocked it. It went through your armor. That 1,000 damage became 300. So that's how the new blocking system works. As far as like this whole new formula and spreadsheet and how to do all this, I will be releasing that tomorrow. So if you're interested on getting your hands on the formula and seeing how the item level is going to be affecting everything, tune in tomorrow. I'll have a spreadsheet for you. Beta is still down. Feels bad, man. Yeah. You wanted to play a Guardian Druid on BfA and you're still hoping that they'll get buffed somehow before release. They're not bad. The BfA Guardian Druids are not bad. But they're definitely a lot more nerfed than they are in Legion. That is one thing for sure. And they keep getting nerfed a little bit more and a little bit more as the builds go on. The biggest thing that is going to be affecting bears is threat generation. So even though most of your abilities are AoE, and you have Thrash and you have Swipe and you have those stacks of Thrash, that bleed effect going out, even though you have a lot of really good AoE, the amount of damage you're doing is not that great. So Guardian Druids are going to struggle a little bit when it comes to Mythic Plus and aggro, unless they start increasing those numbers. If they increase like the Thrash bleed, or make the Thrash bleed have a higher threat multiplier, then there's a few things that they can do. And right now we're going through the numbers changes, right? So in the last Q&A, they said that this last 2 months before BfA goes live are going to be numbers changes. So if they change a few of the numbers in terms of damage going out or threat being generated by Guardians, you're going to be fine. It's way different than it is in Legion. It's a lot more nerfed than it is in Legion, but it's not like a super duper crazy amount. They're just not completely OP anymore. They're just not the most OP by a huge, large margin now. They're just really good now. Let's also sell that. What did I get? 940? Yeah, don't need that. Did I finish the key in time? Yeah, that was a +2. You wanted to play as a Guardian Druid? Oh yeah, my bad. I already answered that. Yeah, for sure, Zach House. So yeah, the new blocking system is a little bit. It's a mix of Legion by damage going through your block first and then being applied to your armor, but it's also a little bit new of the BfA system where things are scaling upwards. So shield upgrades are going to be really, really important when we talk about Prot Paladins and Prot Warriors. All right, guys, that is going to do it today. The beta servers are down, but it's time. We did a lot of keys today, and we actually ran down the time. So we got to do beta for a few hours. So yeah, it's still down. I'm looking at Blue Post. It doesn't seem like it's going to come up anytime soon. So guys, I want to thank you all for stopping by. Again, I want to show off what the support that you guys have given me has manifested into. So the support that you guys have shown me has turned into this new PC here. I've got a few more pieces coming in later, and so this new build won't be up until next weekend, but all of the support that you guys give me, my patrons, my sponsors, people who donate, people who subscribe, people who stop by, all of you guys who keep the chat going, that talk with me while I live stream, all of you guys who chat with me in the comment section. I've been having a lot of comments lately about the whole blocking system with Sadistic. So all of you guys, people who stop by Discord, people who follow me on Twitter, in whatever way that you interact with me, I appreciate that you do it. And if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have gotten that new build. Right now, I've also got like a new monitor coming in. I'm going to have a stream deck. So slowly and surely getting up there. Quality is improving. I'm using every cent that you guys give me, whether you guys just watch my regular content, see those ads that, you know, automatically roll in there. However it is that you guys support me, I am definitely using all of that to go back in here to the channel. And we're going to have quality changes, and you guys are going to be seeing that, and I should be able to pump out more videos now that this rig that I have right now is going to become my editing rig. So while this rig is rendering, I can still use the new rig and get more footage and, you know, do more things while that you know, 2-3 hour render is going out. So honestly, thank you guys. I appreciate you, all of you. And I really, really do thank you guys for in whichever way that you guys interact with me. I will see you guys on Friday. No new PC build this week because a few of the pieces are coming in on Friday, so I won't be able to install drivers and download everything in time. So next week, new build. On Friday, hopefully they don't take the beta servers down and we can do a little bit more Mythic Plus running for the new blocking system. And then I'm going to start leveling up my Monk. Monk is coming up next, so stay tuned. Monk is going to be that last class I haven't touched at all. And then Vengeance Demon Hunters are going to be after that for endgame. Vengeance Demon Hunters should be really easy to level up, very quick, very big AoE centric. So I'm not too worried about leveling up my Vengeance Demon Hunter. Brewmaster Monks. Who wants to teach me Brewmaster Monks? Demon Hunter, you are my teacher. Alright guys, I will see you all on Friday. And again, thank you all for stopping by again. Should post pics of how a setup looks like. Yeah, Demon Hunter, I plan on doing an unboxing and like a setup video. I just need to get my graphics card when that comes in and the new monitor. So when all of that comes in, I plan on doing kind of like an unboxing thank you to you guys, showing you guys the old specs, the new specs, how big of a difference it is. So definitely going to keep you guys in tune with that. All right. Yeah, Monks. You were happy that you got to talk with me again? For sure, Pablo, I appreciate you, man. You know, it's hard to catch me on Live Legion right now because I don't play Live Legion too much right now, since I keep trying to level up a new tanking class every week for you guys. So it's a little hard to catch me on Live Legion, but when BfA launches, hopefully I'll have a little bit more time I'm definitely going to start the dungeon guide soon and raid guide soon, so stay on the lookout for those as well. All right, guys, I will see you all next week. Thank you all for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Thanks for all the questions. I love answering the questions for you guys, and then stuff like this. I love these spreadsheets. All right, guys, see you all next week.